Good evening, everybody. This is Late Night Encounters, the Spiritual UFO Talk Show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. It's almost 11 o'clock. We're starting a little bit. It's about 5 minutes before 11. And you're on the hottest spiritual UFO talk show on social media. Even we've got the government monitoring our show, or trying to. They were kicked out last night. Last night, government monitors were kicked out by the Ashtar Command on our ships. They kicked them right out. So, hey, Ruby. Hello, everybody. So we got everybody, like I said, I've always stated it, that we are here to bust the matrix. And they're getting scared. The people who are in power are scared. Hey, they're good to see you. Because what they're scared about is, you see, the star people, our brothers and sisters of light. The Ashtar Command is here. And more Ashtar Command ships are coming here. Well, our brothers and sisters of light. The Ashtar Command is here. And more Ashtar Command ships are coming here to Earth. And it's up. The time is up. The garbage is up that they've been pulling for 70 years. So evidently my radio program is being monitored by the government too. Been on there for 21 years. You think I care? I don't care. We're well protected. As I say, brothers and sisters, we are well protected. Commander's protected. All of you are protected. We're well protected because we're speaking the truth. That's what they don't like, you see. We're speaking the truth here. We're pushing their buttons. And I'm going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until they go hide in the closet somewhere. They don't understand. I'm not just a human being, but I came from another planet. I have human consciousness, Ashtar Command consciousness, activated consciousness, and I don't care. The commander doesn't care. Because the Ashtar Command, when they tried to monitor this program last night, they blocked them right out. They took care of it. Our family on the ship took care of it. That's why you're hearing a lot of stuff going on last night. The show last night is on my Ashtar Command Spaceship News channel. I loaded it up earlier this evening. If you missed last night's show, it was absolutely out of this world as always. You can watch that show from last night, and it was pretty amazing. Ed, good to see you. Hey, Chesno, Betty. We're going to have another great show tonight. Yeah, I do have YouTube. 7 Corner, yeah, YouTube. It's Ashtar Command Spaceship News on YouTube. It was a wild show last night, wasn't it? But our space family on the ships kicked some butt. Yep, the government was trying to listen into my program last night, and they got their you-know-whats kicked out. And if they trying to monitor the show tonight, they will be kicked out by the spaceships, by the command. Guaranteed. So I say to the government people, do not fool around with the Ashtar Command because you're not going to do anything. Not going to do anything. The commander is going to do his mission work. Being a media broadcaster on radio, on NPR radio, I'll be playing segments about it. Would you believe I'm so important that they're listening to my radio show? The government wants to listen to my radio show. I must be really important to them. Or a threat. One or the other. I think I'm more of a threat. I think they're scared. Have no fear, the commander's here. I just made that up. Have no fear, the commander's here. Hey, Dawn Renee. Thank you, Jan. Good to see you. Hey, Kimberly. Psychic Kimmy. Yeah, the fear of disclosure. Hey, Star Gazer. Moon. Michael T. Weiss. We are all the threat to them now because the public is now waking up. So they are afraid. Hey, Michael. Michael T. Weiss. Hello, Dreamers Paranormal. Hey, Rugged Ghost. Mickey. Happy Tuesday. We're going to have a great show tonight. And we're going to have interviews. When we do interviews, you have to have 200 plus followers, or 1,000 followers. You can do audio and video. 200 plus, it's audio. Also, I want to just give the protocol of the show. The way we do the show here is that no foul language, no people that are drunk, smoking cigarettes, smoking anything, or vaping or whatever, or being drunk or drinking or whatever. None of that. If that's more important to you, then go do that somewhere else. Thank you for the hat. Also, we don't talk about the paranormal. There's other TikTokers that do paranormal shows. I don't do that. Solely focused on spiritual UFO areas, from fairies to mermaids or mer people. It could be UFO sightings, Bigfoot, crop circles, all that stuff. All that stuff. So that's what we go. He phone home. Yes, they are. Michael, they are phoning home. They've called up. We called out and they have come, our brothers and sisters of light. So this is going to be a hot show tonight. And you're gonna learn a lot of stuff here tonight. A lot of downloading going on. I'm starting to feel a lot better. Over a month, I had this download that happened, and it affected my leg and my knee and my lower side of my back. But the commander integrated all that energy, and it's going away now. So I'm doing pretty good. You know, it was a pretty heavy download. Everyone gets downloaded differently in their bodies. Me, it happened this way, but I'm definitely do it. Oh, thank you for the roses, Eddie. Thank you. Oh, wow. Good to see you, Johnny. Brother, good to see you. Susie Beach, Al. There's nothing that can stop the commander. No government agency, no monitors, nothing. And if they are listening right now, they need to be careful. They need to be careful because we have spaceships that are off planet right now and many more coming. So you better shake with your monitoring systems into the closet because the commander is here. Michael T. Weiss, you don't have to want to believe. Just understand that there are space people coming here from other planetary systems. And you came here for a reason, Michael. Your inner spirit brought you here. Hey, Finley's Unique Design, good to see you. Al, thank you so much for the roses. Hey, Meriwether. Are you summoning an invasion? No, there's no invasion. We don't summon invasions. There's not going to be an invasion. Never will be. I'm just telling those monitors, if they're out there, they need to be careful because their little monitoring devices are meaningless. They really are. You know. No, Ashtar Command doesn't do that. Ashtar Command comes in love and light and here to help the planet. No invasions. No invasions whatsoever. But the commander is going to bust their matrix. Matter of fact, the commander might want to electrically, interfere with their systems of monitoring and make them all messed up tonight. I think we're going to mess up the monitoring systems of the government. I think that's a good idea. We'll mess them all up right now. Now, I don't know if I'm able to do that or not, but I'm going to test my theory and see if I can mess them up. We'll see if I can do that. We'll do some experimentation. Hey, Mickey, good to see you. Rod, thank you for the roses. If they vote to take TikTok down, will you go live on YouTube for C5? They're not going to take TikTok down. I called my representatives today. There's so many people. There's over 100 million people using TikTok in the United States. All those people, if they call their representatives, they're going to lose votes if they vote for taking it down. That's not going to happen. They're never going to do it. They won't have the power to do it. There'll be too much pressure. So don't worry about that, folks. We'll be here tomorrow night. Nothing's going down. We'll be here over the weekend. Nothing's going down. Not going to happen. Not whatsoever. So welcome to the show, everybody. New people, old people. Let me give you a little bit of background about me. I came from Mars originally. 10 to 15 million people on our planet. And Mars is an inhabited planet with very advanced structures, some of them on the surface, many inside the planet, rivers, oceans, waterways around the planet. There's also a polar cap on Mars, believe it or not. Mars has a bluish, light blue atmosphere. The air is breathable now. It's got oxygen on the planet, a little bit lighter oxygen than Earth, but it does have oxygen. I work with the Ashtar Command for new people coming in here. If you don't know what that is, or Ashtar Command, that is the highest levels of positive space planetary systems throughout the multiverse. And I also work in Cosmic Christ Consciousness. I do workshops where I teach people to go in a Merkaba state to a golden ship of light, which is as big as the Earth, and then I have them keep a journal of their experiences so they get used to traveling to the ship. Matt Damien said Mars is habitable. Yes, it is habitable. Yep. Oh, thank you, Chesno, for putting that up there. That's my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. If you didn't watch last night's show, folks, you missed a really interesting program. They don't have internet, no. The space people don't use anything like that, but they can listen in on the internet, or like right now, the command is watching our show. Believe it or not, I don't know how they watch the show, but they are able to watch it with monitoring systems of sorts on their ship, on the ship. Hey, Field Cap, we're going to have some interesting information tonight from April, and they're becoming more visible. I'm going to wait till she comes on a little bit later. There's some new information to share, and we're going to share things little by little as things progress here. I mean, that's what this show's about, right? We're about disclosure. We're about the real thing, about what's really happening. So, yeah, April has information, and we're going to share that on the show. If you wish to be a guest and you've actually had some sightings, UFO sightings, if you've actually had encounters with star people or space people, and you have a story to tell us, we want to hear your story. So certainly, not yet. We're going to be going on the ship. Kit Kat, myself, Johnny, with April are going to go on the ship. I don't know when that's happening. I'm sure I'll be contacted. I'm sure that when that happens, I'm not too concerned about when it happens. I'm just patient because it's going to happen when they logistically figure that out on the ship. So when we go on the ship, we're going to go. I'm not sure how we're going to do this. I mean, if it happens individually and we go and then we meet together on the ship, I don't know if there's a way I'll be able to record it. But yeah, but it's coming soon. I don't know yet. I was going to ask them about that, but I'm going to find out. Chesno's boarding the ship now. Chesno's on the ship. His space being is on the ship, just like mine, in the stasis mode. My friend Ashtar Command told me years ago that our star bodies are on the ships. So when we leave this physical body, we go on to our star bodies and we wake up. They're very carefully protected, and then we wake up when we come back. And of course, there's a lot of things that we need to do. All the stories about the mer people that, she'll talk about that a little bit. What we've been doing, capturing mer people that are having trouble in the water. Our government has evidently, kept them captive, and whatever they're doing, we don't know. So there's a lot of stuff we have to educate people about. How did he get to the ship? How did who get to the ship, Susan? We're going to get into some stuff here. I am in the 437. Thank you for the likes. And we'll, try to entertain your questions. So if you have any questions tonight, things are starting to come down. I just posted to friends only. I posted our C5 Ashtar Command contact group that's going to meet in Middlefield, Connecticut on the 13th at 8 o'clock. So if you're in the region and you wish to attend, you have to email me. My email is, and it'll be posted here. It's on my video on our main page. You won't see it unless you friend me. If you're interested in truly coming physically on the 13th, you have to friend me, and I'll friend you back, and then you can go and see the video. So everything we do is very serious now. Things are getting pretty real, very real. It's already real. What am I talking about? And this is it. This is the time that has been talked about for many years. This is real. I'm going to bring Yaya in here. Yaya's coming on here. We're going to bring my friend. Wait a minute. Good. TikTok's working right.
Not mean to hit that.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I meant to hit the roses, and I that's like the third time I've done that.
You want me to let you down to do the roses? It's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
The roses are right next to the request button, so
Oh, okay.
I have to pay
I'll
attention better.
whatever you want to do. If you want to stay here for a minute or two or go down, it's up to you.
Um, uh, uh it's your show.
Okay. Well, I hear you have a lot of crickets or something in the background.
Oh, you hear my frogs? I'm out in my yacht.
Oh, the frogs. Okay.
Yeah, I have my frogs, and I actually just got off a live, and the
Oh,
frogs were hooting. The frogs were going. The doves were going off, and the one owl I just have, it was hooting. So it was
yeah.
kind of
Okay.
cool. It was good for everyone to hear.
Ah,
Hi,
I
Johnny.
think. Okay, we're gonna take somebody and they're going down. I just took that person out. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't notice it, but I think they're a troll, so I took them out.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we took the troll out. I just realized they were trolling, so I took them out. No problem. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm usually pretty on top of it, but it's good to have my viewership keeping track. But
Absolutely.
like I said, things are happening,
Yes, they are.
and we're gonna have when April comes on tonight. She has more information. She's sending me a photo. She had a daytime today. One of the ships, the weather ship, appeared, and she got a picture of it. And we're gonna, when she sends it to me, I'm gonna post it on here so you can see it. It's a weather ship from the Ashtar Command, and she got a great photo. I mean, they were really clear.
I am so excited. I can't wait for your CE5. I'm
Yeah,
excited for it.
I am. I'm like so
It's
ready. I keep thinking in the back of my head when we do the C5, I can't. I'm saying to myself,
I bet.
something special is going to happen. Now, I never said anything about going on the ship on the 13th of April. I don't think that's happening. I can be completely wrong. We can end up, and again, don't quote me on this. Something incredible is going to happen. I don't know what it is at all. It's like, they could be deciding between then and now that, okay, we're going to take them on the ship now. They're together. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen here. You know, I'm just as, you know, um, I know
In
a lot
awe.
of things, but I'm basically don't know what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
when people say, Ken, Commander, what's going to happen? I really don't know. We're going to bring
Just
Friends with
showing
Furries
up.
up. The what?
Just having, just showing up
Just
and
being there.
having the faith and trust and knowing,
Yeah,
you
we're just
know,
going to have that
just
that faith.
absolutely.
All right, so we're going to bring Friends with Furry up here when she gets settled a little bit, and
You can
we
kick
have a
me out
lot
if you
more.
want in a
Okay,
nice
I'll do
way.
that.
Hello,
All right, I'll do
everybody.
it in a beautiful way. Well, yeah, we're
Hi,
gonna let you
honey.
go. I appreciate you coming on here.
Hi, Yaya.
Hi, sweetie.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna let Yaya go, and Yaya, we love you, Yaya. And let's see here. We have April here, so there's so much happening right now. I
Yes,
think it's important,
Commander.
and we're doing little bits at a time here because whatever information April gets when she comes back from this Ashtar Command ship, because they're taking on the ship every couple of days, it seems. There's too much information, and they're going to tell her what until we all go on the ship. We're depending on the information they give her when she comes back. So I think it's important. We're going to it's a teachable moment here on my show. Like I said, we are doing interviews. If people want to come on during the show, you're welcome to. Not, so no one's being excluded from coming on here to be interviewed. I always like to do interviews, but since we have this happening, I think a lot of people are interested in what's going on now with this. And I'm going to turn it over to Friends with Furries. If you don't know who she is a person that we became friends with on TikTok, and she came on my show. Was a very shy person like anybody else. We got her up to the amount of people she
Hi,
needed to get on
Carol.
live, and she started sharing stuff. This is before I knew anything about this other stuff happening. Then, as the year went on, more people I became friends with here in Connecticut and other places, and then she started being taken on the Ashtar Command ships in Vermont, where she is. So all this stuff transpired. Then I found out that we had connections off planet with the same people. She had her parents that are cosmic biological parents on the ship. I had my parents, not my biological Earth parents, but to realize that you have parents off planet that are your parents from the star system, from the stars. So trying to make this simple is that once that happened, now everything's rapidly happening here. It's just an incredible thing. We're being downloaded. Everybody's being downloaded. All of you are. Most of you are. And if not feeling it, you're feeling it in different ways. For me, it's happening in different ways. I was just saying to people earlier that my lower back pain and my leg pain are going away. I've been walking it out and integrating the energy. So, I'm much better than I was a few weeks ago. So, yeah. But I want to give
Yeah.
people an idea. We have a few people here. Johnny and Kit Kat are also. We never knew each other. None of us ever knew each other. But the command, however they do it, they knew these people because they are from the ship, and in their galactic body or space body, they look a little bit different, but they chose to come here on Earth, and their bodies are in stasis right now. Meaning, what that means is the bodies are alive; they're very well protected until the mission is over, and they can decide whether to come back into their cosmic star body as a space being, or come back to Earth and continue helping the people. It's up to the individual. No, they're not hybrids. No hybrids. When we chose to come here, we made a decision to come here. Our bodies are in stasis. And when we came here, we came into human families. Like my family, my mother and father have passed, my Earth mother and father, but my dad and my mother are on the ship. My dad's a commander on one of the Ashtar ships, and I'll get to meet him when I go on the ship. And also, my mother is on the ship, and I have brothers and sisters that are not from Earth that are on the spaceship, but no hybrids. None of them are hybrids. That's a whole different thing altogether. I'm going to turn it over to April. April, good evening, and welcome to Encounters.
Hi, guys. So, well, I was given a little bit more information, and I was saving the juicy stuff for your show. I talked a little bit about when we left the ocean part, where we got to see the mer people, and they were explaining to me about how polluted our water was, and how it's not just affecting the human race, but it's also affecting other species from other planets that are here, which are the mer people, because I was told that they are doing secret nuclear testing under the ocean, and the stuff we don't know about, and they are polluting the waters with nuclear waste. Now it's causing deformities and hurting the baby mer people, because they aren't able to adapt, because they're babies, and when they're being hatched, they are not surviving, and now hundreds of them are washing up on the shore. Now they are able to collect most of their
Babies?
deceased. They're deceased. They're able to collect
Okay.
up most of their deceased, but the government has also been in there snatching them up so they can do whatever it is that they're doing with them, which is not good.
Yeah.
So anyways, after I met with them, and I met with the different mer people, and I talked with them, and they shared their terrible story with me. I also got to spend some time in one of the smaller underwater cities.
Faces?
um,
Cities. Okay.
Yeah, there's little cities that are down there where they can live at, where they live at. So I got to spend some time in one of those, like a day there. But the rest of my time was spent up. You ready for this, Commander?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm ready for this.
Okay. Okay, so you know how people have been making reports that they keep seeing cities in the clouds?
Yeah.
Well, those cities in the clouds are a legit real thing, but it's not heaven that people think that it is. It is our space people have been utilizing our sky space to do their like pop-up cities. So what they
Really?
do is the reason why they need the cloaking, the moisture, and all that stuff is
Mm-hmm.
not just for
Mm-hmm.
the ships, but to cloak these sky cities. So they have small little like town, well, basically they're like little towns. So they have
Yeah.
these little small towns that they put up in our clouds, and so that way, the families can go and live. The space beings' families have a place to like go and live, so they're not always on the ship.
Oh,
And
wow.
they use these like netting cloaking devices that they have around them to protect these um, structures, these buildings and
Yeah.
stuff that they have up there. And every once in a while, people will get a glimpse of them. But that's the cities that people are seeing that are in the clouds. And then also they have these they're like nets that they have around these buildings to protect them, these little cities to
Yeah.
protect them.
Yeah.
And you know how people keep posting, oh, the matrix is broken, they see these frozen
Right.
birds stuck
Right.
in the
Right.
air.
Right.
Okay, well,
Yes.
those frozen birds were actually caught in the nets, and they what they do is they have these special nets where, if something living or like the airplane that was stuck, it was stuck in one of their nets, in one of their energy nets.
Huh.
So they
Really?
will have send somebody up to release them, and so they don't, these animals and birds, because they're aware that we have flying creatures and things like that, like
Oh,
birds
yeah.
and stuff that
Oh,
might
yeah.
knock into them, and they don't want to hurt them, so they
Yeah.
catch them in these nets, and they're basically like frozen, and they'll take them off, and then they'll set them free.
Oh,
Um,
beautiful.
so that's the all those birds that have been, people are saying, oh, the matrix is broken, there's a glitch in the no, they're being caught up in the nets for these cities that are basically floating all over the world. And the space beings are living in on these little cities, these little pop-up cities, and they can take them down as quickly as they put them up. Now that ship that you saw behind me, that ship was actually one of those one of those sphere ships that it can change shapes. Now the cities are made out of these ships, and they basically use our own light to hide in plain sight.
Yeah, wow, it's pretty amazing, right? And
Hmm.
I'm sure most people have never heard this before, but this was given to you when, and she, now understand, when April's talking about this, she physically was on the spaceship of the Ashtar Command. She didn't dream this, she didn't channel this, she's physically going on a ship for people that don't know what's happening here. So I want to make that really clear as host of the show so no one's getting confused here.
So I got to spend 3 days into one of these little cloud cities, and I got to meet with some of the different space beings that were up there. And I got to meet with the different beings, and I also got to walk on one of it was like a cloud bridge, but it was made of that special metal that those ships are made of. And there was
Right.
this bridge that went right up to the edge where the energy shield thing is at, and I got to
Yeah.
walk up and look down and got to see like the ground that was that the city was floating above. Like I got to
Really?
see the app. It's like in between the atmosphere and space is where they float these things.
Wow, that's pretty
They're
crazy.
hiding these things in plain sight. But every once in a while, the light will do whatever, and people are catching glimpses of these cities.
Yeah, I think I've seen stuff like when we've been to the beach last year.
Yep.
I'd say like a mirage that looks like everything's weird,
Yep.
and I think that's where I've seen what appears to be some weird stuff in the clouds.
Yep. And
Yep.
that's them. That's
Yeah,
them, and they're because they need some, because they can't be on the ships all the time. You know what I mean? Because these beings have been here for a long time,
yeah,
waiting
they
for
gotta.
everybody to come. Because they
Yep.
don't see space the same way we do. So
Mm.
I thought that was very cool, and they showed me this, when they were showing me this, they brought me up in the
Thank you,
weather
Rod.
ship because they were showing me what they were using the moisture and the cloaking for, and then they clean the air on these cities. Now they clean them at these little city sites, and I thought they cleaned them on the ship, but they clean them on these cities, purify the air and their little whatever, however they do it, and then they put the moisture back in the ships, and the ships distribute it where it needs to be cleaned.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. See, and how many people even knew that? I think most of you probably didn't know that that was happening. I took out JoJo. I think they were trolling. I muted them for the whole live. But anyway, yeah, that is something people I don't think on encounters knew about. I think the dog's thing I didn't know either.
Hmm.
But but I think most people did not know this. I kind of had a guess, but that really clarifies that whole thing about the cities and the clouds. That would make perfectly good sense. Anybody have any questions?
So after the cloud city, they brought me back, but before they brought me back, they brought me over the mountains, where Mikey and all them hang out at.
Yeah.
Mikey like to rest and watch over my property, and they brought me over. Remember that picture that I posted of the sphere looking like it was right on top of that mountain? It was like right above that, it looked like it was a peak. Now that, and down inside that peak, there is actually a small space base. That's why so many
Oh
ships.
wow.
Not only are they here, not only is the Ashtar Command here protecting this part of the property and or the this part of the planet, I guess, and
Right.
property, but they are also there's some kind of station that is down in that peak, and they showed me that too.
Yeah. They're also. I think somebody asked a question. Let me see. Where was it here? There was somebody with a question here. I could have sworn I might have missed it. Let's see. How did they? Oh yeah. Joshua said. Goodwin says. How did you get to the city? She was in a spaceship.
The
Correct.
ship that, if you were watching my live, I actually showed a ship that was behind me in my live, and it looked like a starship. Well, those starships that people are seeing, the tic tac ships people are seeing, and the sphere ships people are seeing, those are all the same type of ship. They can those ships can change shape. And so they're all the same ship there. They're weather ships. They change shape according to whatever job it is that they are doing at the time, which is they've been slowly helping clean up some of our air, some of our
Yeah.
moist, our water, and things like that. They're trying to keep things. They're trying to help. While they're here, they're doing little bits to help us, while they're here now until the big
Yeah.
contact happens. So right now they're trying to help us out little bits at a time without being detected that they're here.
And Judy McLean is asking on encounters, who are the star people who have square and rectangular ships? I don't know about that. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know if you do either. Do you?
The square and rectangular ships are also their again are their weather ships, and those
Hmm.
are that's Ashtar Command. That's the Ashtar Command,
Okay.
and they are those ships can shape shift. They can change shapes according to what job it is they are doing. So those tic tac ships, those square ships, depending on what kind of ship it is you're seeing, I'm not sure what kind of ships it is you're seeing,
Yeah.
but I know that they have square ones, they have tic tac shaped ones, sphere ones, and the ones that shape like stars, but they're all basically made out of that specific metal
Yeah.
that you saw in my post that I posted to the thing. They let me take a picture of that ship. That
That
was
was
probably one of
amazing.
the clear. Yeah, that was a clear one. they actually stopped and let me take a picture. I was out there digging out the snow, and then this comes flying over the thing like it was fast, and I saw it, and I was like, and then they
when
stopped, and I was like,
people
really?
when people see April's weather ship she took today, an Ashtar Command ship, when I post it, when she sent it, I'll post it on here and I'll show it on my screen. That ship was amazing. This ship was as clear as can be. And she got it, and they stood there in the sky. Well, they didn't personally stand there. The big ship they had, where she was in a remote area, stopped, and she was able to take a picture of the Ashtar ship. And
And it
it's
was
as clear as can
daytime.
be. Daytime, right?
So that was really cool.
Amazing.
So I'm going to
Yeah,
be posting that. I posted my dragon first, and then I'm going to be posting that one. But I wanted to, save it for the background so I can explain it to people, so people aren't going, oh, whatever. I wanted to be able to explain it.
yeah.
So
And I got a feeling they're going to get bolder when I say this. I just got this feeling inside me that at some point, well, they're going to talk about Boulder on April 13th at our gathering in Connecticut. I think we're going to have an experience that no person's ever going to forget.
And I
You know,
think so too, because if they were willing to do that just so I could get a picture to have proof, can you imagine what they're going to do for this live stream? So people aren't scared. This is going to
right,
be like their little introduction to what's to come,
right.
is what I'm thinking that they're going to
Yeah,
do.
I think they're going to forget all the UFO documentaries you've seen on Discovery, on History Channel, all that garbage. What you're going to see on my live on the 13th at 8 p.m., whatever happens, it's going to be such an out of this world experience. It's going to blow your mind. And if you're not watching this show on the 13th in the field, we're going to be live in the field, set up with cameras. We'll be live on TikTok, actually.
And
We're
if
going
and if you think
to,
it's crazy about the energy that me and the commander have when we're together on the show, can you imagine how ramped up the energy is going to
oh
be
my
when we're
God.
together? It's going to be
If with the
nuts. And if the other two of our group can make it, wow. And just to be really transparent, Commander, I am on that phone right now because my other phone was dying.
Oh, you're on the phone that was causing a lot of that. So that the phone you're on now, they can listen to the show on, right?
Yeah, it's that
Okay.
phone.
So right now she's on the phone where the Ashtar Command can listen, and so they're listening to the show right now on the phone she's using. So I'm sure they're as excited. My dad, I say dad, my commander father, Robar is on the ship,
Hmm.
and her family's on the ship, and and they're just listening to us discuss what we're discussing. So if not sure how that works, don't try to figure it out, folks. Don't think too hard about it. Just understand that they are listening to the program on April's phone she's using from the spaceship. However that works, don't even worry about it. Don't get too technical in your head about it. It's just what it is. So yeah. I send blessings to Commander Robar. I think it was Manessa said send blessings, so we do send blessings to him always.
Yes,
But
we
so,
do. And
and when we get to
Knock too, because that's my
Nakanook is
father.
her father. Nakanook's
My father and his father are best friends.
yeah, and I've only learned this stuff in the last few months with April, since this all started happening. I always knew growing up that I had another family when I was a kid that from Earth, but I never knew where they were. I never knew, I mean, I was a kid. How do I know how to contact my parents from another planet or something? I didn't know any of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, Robar is the name of my father off planet,
Hmm.
my cosmic father. On the biological cosmic realm, my Earth-based father and mother, they passed over 10, 11, 12 years ago.
Same thing with mine. Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
they got 10, 11, 12 years ago. My
Yep.
Earth parents.
Mine too. Mine
You
too.
know, and actually, each one of you, depending where you come from, everybody has a mother and a father from another star system. It's just that you don't remember it.
Hmm.
But eventually, if you get to the point where you're able to reconnect with them, they're out there wondering where you are. I mean, they know who you are. It's just a matter of time. Everything is happening in a very beautiful, gradual way, blooming like a flower blooms and another flower blooms, and then there's a domino effect of flowers blooming. Look at your cosmic biological family as being out there, and you're a part of that family somewhere in the universe, and they know you exist here on Earth, and you'll eventually meet them. Every one of you will have that experience. You just have to have a belief system to be open to that idea. Hey, Lacey, welcome to the show. So, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, so they had taken me over there before they made a U-turn over to my property, and they stopped right above that peak and that mountain where the remember when I posted that picture that had that bright red light in the back of it, and then you could see
Yeah.
that balloon shaped ship that was in
Yeah,
between it. And the
I
reason why
did.
so many ships over there is because that mountain itself is an actual small little base there.
Oh,
That they
really?
Yeah, so that's a small base down in the inside mountain, like they go into the earth from there.
Interesting.
There's an opening to the earth there, and they showed me the opening. They had it open, and it opened up like a light eye. It was weird. It twisted open like an iris. It opened
Yeah.
up, but it was like it was like light,
Wow.
almost like a um, what am I thinking of here? A
Hmm.
portal opening,
A
almost like
portal.
a portal opening, but it opened up like an eyeball iris. It was
Okay.
really cool. They opened it up, they let me see, it went way down, and they took me down into it, and then showed me around in there, and there was like you could drive these ships in there. It was really
Wow.
cool. It was very, very open, and almost like you were going through a parking garage, something like that.
Wow.
But they took me through
That's
there. It was quite extensive through there. And then they
hmm.
brought me back out, and then brought me back home,
Yeah.
and then put me back in my room. So I just thought that was really cool. But
Yeah.
I wanted to let you know about those cloud cities. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing, and they use those cities to there's some type of technology on that purifies our earth water, and then they use it to put back into the earth. And I just thought
Oh,
that was
wow.
absolutely amazing. They're trying to help us little by little while they're
Little
here.
by little. Yeah.
But they're going to help us with the technology to help ourselves. They're going to come with some technology, and they are coming to also teach us how to make that technology.
Hmm.
So
Do you hear a sound at all?
no.
Okay. Um, so I'm hearing the sound of a spaceship. I have my earpods on. I can hear things. So since you're using that phone that is connected with them,
Mm-hmm.
I hear the sound of a spaceship. Now I don't know what the sound of their spaceship sounds like, but their spaceship is coming through the sound of their ship. You can't hear it, but we can.
Yeah, no, I can't hear it.
I can
Um,
hear it.
but so yeah, I just thought that was really cool, and then I got to go on that weird space bridge that they had in there, and some of their living domains that they had up there were, some of them were like were rounded,
Hmm.
and then some of them looked like skyscrapers, and they were
Oh
all
my
made out
gosh.
of that weird metal material that the ships were made out of. But they live in them, they go to school in them, and they have like um, almost like what am I
How
thinking? I
many
can't remember. Like
people
factories in them that clean the water and stuff like that,
really?
and they grow crops up there too.
Oh my gosh. How many people live this is a good question. These skyscraper things they create in the clouds where they live. How many people are living in those
I don't know exactly how many, but if I were to guess, it's like the little round dome houses. There was
mhm.
probably like two or three families that lived in those dome
Okay.
houses. They had
Interesting.
smaller ones for single families, but those big ones were like skyscrapers, and there was probably along the lines of maybe 50 families living in them.
Interesting.
So
Wow.
they're like apartment complexes almost. It's
Wow.
very,
Condo
very
complexes. Our star
Yeah.
family has these set up in the clouds, so they're kind of cloaked, but not
Mm-hmm.
totally. And they, why they go off the ship, what April's saying is they have to get off the ship so they have a place to live. They have these living spaces that are way beyond anything we understand in terms of,
Mm-hmm.
we everything to us is nuts and bolts. You build a building, you got to build it from the ground up. They just create their spaces, and they're set up, and it's amazing. Yeah,
I just thought it was really
Mercury.
cool, and I also found out that 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 I got to meet one of your brothers, Jared.
Really?
Does that name sound familiar?
Yeah, what did Jared look like?
Jared looked a lot like you, with the exception of he had a beard, but his beard was not as full as yours. His beard was like clean cut, tight to his face.
Oh, really?
But he was more blonde than he was brown haired like yours. His was a little bit darker of a blonde though, and
Really?
he had a clean cut, like tight beard. He was all business. You were like you had been out in the out there doing the thing,
Oh
but
my
your brother
gosh.
was your brother was more like all
More
business
clean
because
cut.
he was all about these cities and stuff.
And wait, before you get into lexicon, I'll answer your question in a minute. So, did my brother say anything about me on the ship? I'm very curious about my family up
Yeah,
there.
he introduced himself and he said he said he was your older brother, you were his little brother. Um and he said that you were always the wild card of the family.
I was the wild card.
Yeah, you were the wild card of the family. And I said, how so? And he said, because if there was a battle to happen, or anybody was like messing with somebody, you were the first one to like step up. He didn't use those words; these are my words, but I'm
Okay.
just trying to.
Yeah.
I'm just
You're ab libbing for what he said. Kind of.
basically, if there's a fight to happen, you were the first one to step up.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I understand that. So he. I'm sure he's going to be interested in seeing me when I go on the ship.
Yeah, the
Yeah. I
whole
think.
family. Wow, I mean, the whole family, all very, very good looking. Your brother was pretty tall too. I would say along the lines of he was closer to 8 feet tall.
8 feet tall.
Yeah,
Wow.
I couldn't tell
Uh,
how tall you were because you were laying down, but you were big and buff, but well,
yeah.
tall and cut. But your brother was quite tall too. He was close to 8 feet. I was
Oh
looking
my
up at
gosh.
him like he was looking down at me like I thought he was gonna pat me on the head, like, okay, little human. You
He
know.
pat you on the head. Oh man.
But he was
And
all
I,
business. He was
and
definitely all business.
oh, business, yeah.
He was
And
very
let me.
serious.
Oh yeah,
You could tell you take after your dad. You could tell
I
you take
do.
after your dad. Your dad is a lot like how your human self is.
Oh really? Okay. And the lexicon says, Commander, how do they go to school without time? Yeah, April. Can you? Did they share anything about going to school
How do
with
they
you
go
when
to
you're on the
school
ship?
without what? I'm sorry, I didn't see.
Without like we have time on Earth.
Uh-huh.
So I'm curious. When you're on the ship, did they discuss how the kids go to school?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know about the time thing, but some of the kids, a lot of the space kids, different species, all go to school. They send them off planet. They will go to off planet schools.
Hmm.
And if you're asking me how they pick them up and transport them there, they're transported by like basically school bus ships.
School bus ships. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
They
That is
go from
interesting.
planet to planet, and the kids actually will live at these schools until they learn whatever it is they're going to learn, or whatever
Wow.
trade it is they're going to learn. Whatever they are most interested in. Like you learned, you were, there's other people, other kids that like really wanted to do communications and stuff like
Hmm.
that. And I only know this because that was a memory that they gave back to me. Like with me, I was all about like ships and stuff like that. So that's why I am the commander of one of the waiting ships. You were all about communications, but
Hmm.
we all went to the same school. Um,
Interesting.
yeah,
Very
and then
interesting.
but we were all from like different parts of the universe, but when we go to school, we actually live there. Like they are like there's dorms there and stuff like that, and the kids learn what they're going to learn, and they live there. It's like a private school situation type thing where the kids
Yeah.
live at the school, go to school there, and all that. And then once they learn their trade or whatever it is that they're good at, then they go back with their families. And then
Yeah.
when they turn a certain age, then they go back to they go back to school. As they're going, they go back like every so many years to learn more about whatever it is that they're
Oh,
going to be
wow.
doing.
Mercy the One says, is communications telepathic? Are you asking, Mercy, is communications telepathic in other worlds, in other words? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm trying to understand that question. Let's see here.
I know our families, they mainly communicate telepathically, but they do speak too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but every species, they all speak different languages, but with the like I don't know how the rest of them do it, but I know that the Ashtar Command's uniforms have translation devices in them that will translate any language into a language that you can understand, because I was placed into one, and whatever language that being spoke, I was able to understand them in English.
Wow. That's really amazing. And I think that's what Mercy the One is. How did they communicate telepathic words? So I think you just answered that question. They do both. Yep, they do both, Mercy. I keep calling you Mercury. Mercy the One, they do both. Lacey says, do they have sports? Do they have some sort of galactic sports or
Yes,
something like
they
that?
are a lot like us. Absolutely. They are a lot like us. They have pets and they have sports and they have all of that, but their type of sports are like totally different than what we do, depending
Right.
on the species, depending on the planet. They have games and stuff. They're, like I said, they're a lot like us,
Yeah.
except for they live in love and pure light and knowledge and things like that. Like learning things is much more fun for them than but they do play sports, they do things like that. They are so much like us, like you really don't understand. It's just that we haven't been that enlightened that we can't do it without arguing, fighting, and being
Right.
ridiculous
That's
half the
right. On
time.
Earth, especially on Earth, yeah. Writer Boy says, forwards, do they speak 4 words? I'm not sure what you mean. Do they speak 4 words? Can you expand on that question, Writer Boy? Let's see. Honey McReynolds, don't they also travel in their Merkaba, Commander? I'm not sure they need to. They can go right through the wall in my apartment. I don't think they need to do that. I don't know. I don't think they need to do that for some reason.
I don't even know what that is.
A Merkaba is when you go, like when I do my classes,
Oh,
I
you mean
teach
for
people.
meditation?
And yeah, and the Merkaba your body becomes a spaceship. The Merkaba.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Um, that I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. I don't know either.
All I know is these beings' technology is so far advanced above ours and so enlightened above ours that they have the capability of like my angelic family, like their wings, for instance. Their wings they're actually functioning wings. Like they don't need to walk if they don't have to. They can just fly and float to where they need to go. And
Hmm.
then like their technology, like when they beam down these beams to like bring people on their ships or beings or whatever it is they're bringing onto their ships, you just float in these beams of light, and they don't hurt. It almost feels like like when you get a static shock, how it startles you but
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt.
yeah.
It feels something like that, but it doesn't hurt at all. It
Yeah.
felt like that, and when they were bringing me up, they had pulled me up through my like it almost felt like there was a harness around my back, side just
Okay.
pulling me up, and I was looking down. It looked like I was asleep. If you look in my page, you'll see that I
Did you
posted
feel
video.
like April, when you went on the ship, the number of times you've been on 8 times now, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So when they took you up, did you feel like you were like just relaxed and
Yeah.
you're enveloped in like just being how long did it take you to get up on the ship from when they took you
Seconds.
invited you up set in a second?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was very fast, but but you don't feel like you're being yanked up fast. It's like 1 second you're there, and the next second you're walking on the ship.
Hmm.
But it seems like I don't know, like
Yeah.
my security picked it up, and it seemed like it was slow motion, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. It literally wasn't. But I think it was because Pumpkin had grabbed a hold of me when they were bringing me up because he thought they were pulling me up too fast. So.
Wow.
That was the one time that I like traveled the beam alone, and there was another beam that was pulling my mother and brother up into the ship. But I was in my own beam.
Johnny's asking, Susan Mary was asking, uh, she's saying they can communicate through any device they choose, correct?
Yes.
Right. So, and so they chose, for whatever reason, your phone you're using now works for them to communicate.
Hmm.
And so, and then Papa Smurf says responding to Mercury the One, because our space bodies are still on the waiting ship,
Yeah.
which you talked about. How long do they live, Felita?
Hundreds of years. The
Hundreds of
space
years.
the space people.
Our families live or by our cosmic families, your father and your family, my family, they live for hundreds of years,
They are
and they
hundreds of
look like,
years old. They do not
and they,
view time the same way we do. They
and they
all look
look,
like they're in their 20s.
yeah, they look like they're in their 20s. And she's been on the ship, so she's seen them, and they look like they're in their 20s. They're hundreds of years old, though. They look like they're in their 20s.
For some reason, I don't know what happened to us humans, but we age very quickly, and
Hmm.
we weren't supposed to, is what they told us. We weren't supposed to, and I don't know what happened. They didn't explain any of that to me.
It seems like we disconnected from source.
Mhm.
I mean, what I know, but it
Well, I
seems
mean,
we,
you would know because you're communication, so I would assume that that would be information that you would be privy
yeah.
to.
I think that humans on this planet disconnected from the source of creation, and when they did that, they disconnected from the source that allowed them to be hundreds of years old. So, um, I can't validate what I'm saying or not, but I think that's what happened. I really do. Well, let's face it, human beings have disconnected from everything here on this planet. We disconnect from everything, and therefore now things are happening. You're going to find human beings that are going to be connecting, and other human beings that are going to be whatever they're going to be doing. There's billions of Earth people on this planet, and not everybody's going to be at the same enlightenment or understanding that many of you here are. So there's a lot of work cut out on this planet with billions of Earth people, a lot of people to wake up. Truly a lot of people.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. So things are ongoing. And like I said, we're a few weeks away from our Ashtar Command contact program gathering in Middlefield, Connecticut. If you're friending me and you're really seriously interested and you're coming with love and light and joy in your heart and you're an awakened soul, if you follow me, I'll follow you, and you can go to the video that's strictly for the friends to see. I didn't want to make it like a general public thing. I wanted to make sure it was focused on only the people that would really be benefiting from it.
Thank you,
Hey,
Lord.
Just Jane Doe, good to see you and everybody coming in here. So we're having a event. It's going to be apple orchard, so a field. So I tell people who are going to come, please, if you need information, you're going to email me, and we'll give you information what to bring, like bring like a portable chair, bring some water. If it's a little bit cool in April, like in the nighttime, bring yourself a blanket or a portable chair, get comfortable. We're going to do a meditation. That's a Christed meditation We're very well trained in what we do, and we're going to celebrate. Basically, that night we're going to be doing the introduction to our space brothers, and we're going to see what happens. I don't know what they're going to do. April doesn't know what they're going to do.
Nope.
But they're going to surprise us, evidently. So we're going to record it, and we're going to be live on here on TikTok, recording and documenting the spaceships.
And it's a couple of days before my birthday too, Commander, so maybe they'll do something extra special.
Yeah.
And I know your dad's doing
L1NC.
it's like a gift for you for your birthday, because your birthday just passed, and it's going to be a couple of days before my birthday, so maybe they'll do something extra special.
And N1NC1, good evening. Can others join through Zoom? We don't have Zoom. We're just going to be using the TikTok. If you have TikTok, you can join in from TikTok to watch us like now. It's much easier if you have the TikTok. Just come on TikTok, because we'll be going live on the 13th at 8 p.m. here in Connecticut.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we're going to definitely be
on the
doing
Commander's page. Everybody that's got TikTok, I'm sure, is going to be out there live streaming it. I've got the two phones. I'm just going to put them both up.
We're going to be. This is going to be this. Talk about disclosure, and right now she's using the phone that our parents on the ship can hear everything we're saying, so they know we're going to record them. And I don't know how close their ships are going to get to the level of clear recording, but it's going to be, if we can document it, it's to educate people that our star family, the Ashtar Command, is here to assist the Earth, to reconnect with us, and to get us to do the things we need to do. It's not just all about them doing stuff. Everybody here has to do stuff too, right? Everybody here has to be proactive on the planet. They're not here, they can't do all the work. People here have to do the work too. People, who here on the planet need to step up to the plate and do the work about cleaning the environment or whatever it is that's going on, or all these things that are happening. We need to be interactive, proactive as star people, as light workers. It's up to all of us to be involved. If we're looking at the people on the ship to do it for us, they want you to do your part. You have to yin with the yang and yang with the yin.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? You can dance by yourself, but it would be better if you have a partner, so you can learn how to dance better, is what I'm saying. So our partnership is with our space brothers, and they're partnering with us on the Earth for those that are willing to step up to the plate, so that we can actually help in this transformational period that we're going through as contact continues to get more and more. Hey, Donovan, good to see you, brother. So as contact gets to be more and more, it's up to everybody out there around the world, wherever you are, to understand that we're now in a very crucial period on the planet. And with all the things that have, hey, just Jane Doe, thank you. Just with the things happening that April shared about the mer people and what's happening with them, the babies, we really need to be conscious of our planet and those living on it in the waters, our space people living in the oceans, and also with bases in the seas on Earth, which they do have. We have to be really proactive in busting the matrix, so much so that nothing can be hidden from the public anymore. And I think it's really crucial.
Were you reading the comments just a second ago? Do you realize that all of our birthdays are around the same time? All four of our birthdays are around the same time. Johnny just had his on the 3rd, and mine's coming up in April. You just had yours, and Kit Kat's is coming up.
Really?
Yep.
Talk about the word synchronicity.
Right.
Synchronicity, folks. Like I say, it goes right back to the whole thing. None of us knew each other. None of us. If I didn't get on TikTok from Facebook, I would have never had this experience. And I'm glad people told me to get on here. I mean, they must have known something I didn't know. And look where we are now. Now we're reconnecting. We're reconnecting with each other, which is a beautiful thing, but we're also making connections with our space family, people that we're biologically connected to beyond our biological Earth family. I have a brother, and I have cousins relative on Earth, but I have brothers and sisters on the spaceship. And I am going to be so excited to meet them. I'm sure they're excited right now hearing what I'm saying, but I am really excited to meet them and learn and understand things and know what my further mission is to help the planet and my communication skills. I'm really, really excited to see what I'm going to learn when we go off planet.
Exactly. And it's gonna be something, Commander. I can't wait for you guys to experience this stuff. I really can't.
And I know when that time comes, April will probably get information because she's going on the ship a lot. They'll tell April when we're going to go, and we'll just be ready for it. I'll be ready whenever that day
I
is or
ask
whatever.
every single time I go. I ask because
Yeah, that,
I know how much
yeah,
it means to you, and I keep asking, and they keep telling me in due time. That's the only answer I'm getting
yeah.
from them.
Well, the due time is good because I'm a very laid back person. So whenever that due time is, I'll be ready. I'll be ready. Whenever that is.
I'm just hoping that they come and get me first. That way, there's a familiar face standing there, so you don't feel like, you know. You
Hey,
don't
it took
feel too overwhelmed. You got somebody to shush you when you
right.
come out with the word vomit like I did, because you're going to be
Yeah, like
asking 5 million questions,
oh yeah, I'm
and
sure
then
I'm going
you're
to
not
ask a
going to
lot
know
of
what to ask.
questions. I'm going to be the question person. The commander is going to question Commander Robar and all these other people, my brothers and
You
sisters on the
are.
ship. I'm going to ask them, how come, you didn't contact me earlier? You waited all these years till I was an adult. I'm just kidding, but
Why?
why
Why?
did
Throw
you wait
yourself
so
down.
long?
Why? Now
Why
give
did
me
you
some
make?
pearls.
Why did I have to go through life on this planet for so long until you decided to come here now at this time?
You could have at least hooked me up with some pearls if I couldn't be on the ship.
Yeah, you could have dropped some pearls off in my garden, and they could have grown some little pearl watermelons. They grow. We're laughing if people know what we're talking about. They have these pearls. They call them pearls. They're like little tiny watermelons, and they are supposedly really sweet. So I'm going to try some pearls. Hopefully, when I get into the realm of this ship.
Combative, like, forget the communications, forget the memory, forget all that. You bring me, you're
Just
feeding
bring
me
it.
right
Just
now.
give me a bowl of intergalactic pearls, and I'll be
That's
happy.
right.
They're probably laughing right now. I'm sure if they're listening. But
Commander, I'm going to step down for a few minutes because I have
okay.
to take the Wonder Mutts out.
The Wonder Woman's
And
okay.
I will be back on shortly.
All right, sounds good. So you're watching Encounters. If you wish to be a guest on the show, we are taking guests. Encounters is a show that deals with spiritual UFO areas from copper circles, our star families, visitations, UFO sightings, Bigfoot, mer people. We get into all that, and you have to have 200 minimum to get on. You have to have 1,000 to get on audio, 1,000 for audio and video. And this is the rules of the show. If you're not familiar with it, to go on the air, no smoking, vaping, cigarettes, or any of that stuff. None of that stuff. And then the other thing is no profanity, no paranormal discussions, and nobody under 18 can go on the screen. So I want to keep the show as professional as possible. I communicate telepathically with them. Lady J communicates telepathically with them. And let's see, Lady J, let me bring you up here. If you'd like to talk about that, I'd like to hear your story about telepathic communications. I think I'm also telepathic myself, so I'm very interested in the telepathic communications. I think Lady J is going to join us here, and we're glad to have Lady J with us. This is Encounters. Lady
Hi,
J, welcome to the show. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
We're glad to have you on here for the
Yeah,
first time.
I came on, it's been a long time,
A
but
long
I
time
came
ago.
on and told about my experience in San Diego and
Yeah,
being contacted in San Diego and
that's right.
uh
That's a while ago.
yeah, it's been a while. And then, they kept uh talking to me and telling me to find them and see them. And then I went a long time without any communication. And then just recently, I started getting a little contact here and there. And I've captured some really cool images. And I was just on Facebook and just joined this new group, UFO group. And I
Hmm.
was just so happy because there are people that had posted pictures that were just like mine. And in fact, just
Yeah.
recently, like 3 weeks ago, I got this light. Um, I don't know how far away it was, but I got this light, and then it like changed into this other like
Yeah.
light. And
Hmm.
on that Facebook page, somebody had the exact same thing that I did. And I was like,
Wow.
whoa. And they had, other people had images just like mine. And that, it just makes me feel so good that other people have evidence and pictures of the same thing I do, you know,
Oh,
and
wow.
they tell me all the time, you know, we need to spread love and we need to take care of this earth. And every time I see plastic going in the garbage or whatever, I'm just like, I cringe.
Right. Yeah, really, it's like they're trying to the April was sharing last night, they're trying to help clean up our waterways, but it takes a intergalactic effort of people on the ground like us, and because we're living on the ground on the surface,
Hmm.
to go to those beaches and places and get rid of all that garbage that's going in our waterways on the planet. It's just
Yeah.
something we need to be more involved in.
Yeah. I feel it in my heart every time I see, you know, people just throwing stuff away and all this plastic. It hurts my heart.
Mm. It's amazing, and it's all over the place. In India, it's funny. In India, in the cities, they have so much pollution and garbage everywhere. It's
Hmm.
like, there's a disconnect between the environment
Hmm.
and the people that live in these cities. They don't realize, that there
Mm-mm.
all this stuff going on that is not good for them. And that
No.
goes pretty much all over the world where there
Yeah.
might be problems like that.
When I went to Egypt, they have some canals, and then of course I was on the Nile for a while, and
Oh wow.
oh my gosh, like I saw we were going down the Nile, and there's this big old like huge pile, like
Hmm.
dumps, you know, just
Yeah.
going down to the river, and there's this lady standing right next to that pile, washing her clothes in the river, and I was like, this is
Wow.
crazy. And
Yeah,
then
that's
there
not good.
was like these canals, and they were so full of garbage, you could probably drive a damn car across them.
Yeah, really, it's just crazy. It's we the perception of part of the reason. Well, there's many reasons, but part of the reason why there's a connection happening with our star family and the Ashtar Command is here because we reverberate energy throughout the universe. People don't realize this. Do you know that when we did the first nuclear bomb testing, I talked about this last night a little bit, that nuclear vibration of energy goes throughout the universe and it affects other planets that
Oh
are
yeah.
inhabited by people. We do cause and effect to other planetary systems, not in a very good way because we're using all these things that are reverberating, the nuclear, testing. It
Mhm.
reverberates out into the universe, but most people don't realize that, and that's what
No,
that's what causes a problem. You know,
frequency and vibration. That's,
yeah,
you know,
it's
that's
all
where it's at. Frequency and vibration.
totally, totally where it's at.
You know, there's so much out there that people don't even know or feel, or
Yeah.
you know, they're so unaware because they're so locked
Well,
into
Earthlings
the
are
media, and
right.
you
The
know,
media,
watching
TV
TV and
shows,
watching other
right.
people's drama on reality TV shows, and
Reality
you know.
TV shows, right. Instead of like getting into the reality of, here's the planet Earth, this is the planet we live on, we have to help the
Mm-hmm.
planet. Most people go day to day, not even thinking about what's happening to the Earth. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what they do, you know, and it's
Yeah,
crazy.
and it's sad because some of these countries, like when I was in Egypt, it's like they don't have they don't have places for the garbage or whatever, so they just throw it, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, and something that I found kind of odd when I was in California for a while, you know, I'd have people, you know, friends or whatever, and then just set garbage out on the road. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, and I'd
Really?
go and pick
Yeah.
it up, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you just? Oh, well, that's what they hire people for. They have people that they hire to clean up the parking lots, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just insanity to me. You know,
Yeah.
why not
It's kind
just
of
pick up
crazy.
after yourself? I mean, the wind comes up and blows it all over. So what if they clean the parking lots up? You know, it's all over the streets and everything else.
Yeah.
I'm just like, the mindset just blows my mind.
Yeah. People are really on this planet. You have people that really have no idea what's going on. They're like oblivious to the fact that there's like a whole mile long of plastic garbage in the oceans in the Pacific somewhere. And there's these
Mm-hmm.
devices this person created that are trying to suck it all up and clean it. But it takes more than a few of these things. You have to have hundreds of them, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a battle because the Earth. There are places where the Earth has pristine water, but there's many places where we've actually polluted it, and it's really a mess.
Mm-hmm. I'll never forget that first experience that I had that night at that on Fiesta Island there in San Diego,
Yeah,
where I was so scared, and then they just told me to be calm, and that we just want to spread love, and we want people to take care of the earth, and we are coming sooner than we think. And that was in September of 22, and since
yeah,
September of 22, bam, 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 it's just been coming out and more exposure and more people and seeing the same things. And
yeah.
you know
And you yourself you're starting to have more contact in your own personal life, correct?
again, finally, yeah, like I said,
Well,
it went
it's
away
gonna
for a little while,
it's
but
gonna
it's coming
increase.
back.
That's
Mm-hmm.
probably your star family connecting with you. It's probably going to increase for you, lady. I think you're going to see yourself having more intense contact. I really
I
do.
hope so. Yeah, I was missing it, and then
Hmm.
yeah, and I'm talking just over like the last month it started, but they stopped contacting for a good probably 6 months, and then
Oh
they
wow.
started contacting me again. So I'm really happy about that. I wish sometimes they talk to me, and that's all they tell me is just spread love and keep telling people, and other times I don't know, it's just the lights in the sky, and and I don't know what they're trying to show me.
Yeah.
I,
Well, it takes
and
time,
they show me
and I
this
don't
light
think
language that I can't read.
right. But you know what? You can ask them telepathically. Can you teach me this light language? How do I understand what you're trying to show me? Because obviously, if they can teach you it, that would help a lot too, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I wanna gather with people in with the same mindset and have a big gathering, and
Yeah.
get everybody together, and just I've noticed more and more, actually on TikTok and different platforms, that it's becoming all the spiritual awakening and everything is becoming way more apparent, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
what it's more about, and that's wonderful, that people are talking about wanting to bring communities together and wanting to make this world a better place, and
Someone's saying if you go into meditation, ask for, let's see here, um, ask for an explanation and a down. Like if you get downloaded the information, everyone's being downloaded continuously
hmm
24/7 right now. So
hmm
if you go in
ears
meditation,
ringing
you might,
sometimes.
as ring, but you can communicate with those space people that are coming back and you're seeing. I bet you they're waiting for you to communicate with them, and I think you could.
I
Excuse me.
hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you could. All right, Lady J is
Well,
our
thank
guest. I
you.
want to thank you for being here and updating stuff that's going on with you. And this is the beautiful thing. A lot of this stuff is starting to happen now with people. They're having reconnections and contacts. I think that's a beautiful thing to kind of understand and meditate on. But yeah, definitely thanks for coming on here.
Yes, thanks for having me.
All right, Lady J, and give me a moment, and we shall be right back. Just keep looking at the screen and tell me if you see anything. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back here. Sorry about that, folks. You're watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show, and we're trying to catch up. Do you think? Ask works. Okay, let's see here. I think so. She is cool. Thank you. Let's see. I might have made contact, Commander Cliff. Oh, good. I'm just reading people's comments here. You're watching the late night edition of Encounters, the spiritual UFO talk show. I'm CmdrAleon. If you're not watching this show, then I don't know what you're watching. Right. This is where it's at right here. Of all the social platforms, right here, not on YouTube. Well, on YouTube, we have recorded shows from tonight's show. Every show is recorded, is on my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. And I'm also host of WESU's Ashtar Command radio show for 21 years, Cosmic Eye Radio, every Sunday morning. Welcome, everybody, all the new people. Good to have everybody with us. We are at 32.8 thousand likes. We want to get to 100,000 by 1 a.m. Hey, Derek. Good to see you, brother. We want to get to, hey, Gary. We want to get to 100,000 likes by 1 a.m. I think we can do it. So we're just going to see who else might be coming in here. It's pretty slow on the interview night. Pretty slow on interviews tonight for some reason. Hey, Vicky, welcome to our show. And I'm just trying to, in the meantime, read your questions and respond to your questions in the comment line. Nana907, welcome. And we're coming up to 12:15 a.m. in the morning on the East Coast. And we have Cliff. Cliff, we're going to bring Cliff up here. Always welcome on the show. And let's see. I think we have him in there. Hey, Cliff,
me?
welcome to it. We got you right on the show here. You're live
All
on
right,
the
so-
International Edition. Go ahead.
So what I was happening last night is I saw that bright flashing light over in the west sky at the one end of my building through the window. So I went out with the green laser pointer and I did like a crisscross in front of it, and then I
Yeah.
circled it, and then it was moving around in the sky, but it was moving around in a small area. And after I did the thing with the laser, it started doubling the size of where it was traveling back and forth and up and down.
Really?
It was almost following my pattern that I made with the laser pointer.
Wow. That's definitely interesting. So it sounds like you dealt with intelligence.
Every place I went with, I mean, if it was traveling back and forth, I would say the area that it started to cover was twice the size as what it was normally doing before I did that. And it was shooting. You could see it. It wasn't going slow neither. It would go pretty quick. It would jump from right to left, and then it would go down, and then it would go. It was almost like it was making that crisscross.
Yeah. Someone's asking, are you near any airports by chance?
I really don't know if there is an airport here. It must be a small one, because we're in Sneedville, Tennessee, and
Yeah.
so I don't think Sneedville has an airport, but there might be a town nearby. But this is not a plane. This is in the sky at the same spot every night.
Oh wow!
And it's what
Interesting.
I took, and it's the one that I took pictures of, and that's the one that April went and looked at my pictures the other night.
Yeah.
And they're different colors, different sizes, even different shapes. And the one of them where it's white, it almost looks like a letter V in the middle of it. You can clearly make it out. I don't know if you went to look at it, but this is the same one.
Are you clicking your keyboard or something by accident or touching something?
No, I ain't clicking nothing.
Okay. No, you're good. Okay.
But yeah,
Very
that
good.
one, the one has a letter. It almost looks like a letter V, and you can clearly see it in there. It's clear as anything.
I'm gonna have to look at it on your. It's on your page, right?
It's on my page. Yeah, you just go to my page, and it's the little video. It's a video I made, but it's all like still shots where it kept changing color and sizes. And the only one I didn't get is when it turned green. And when it turned green, it was like double the size of what I got. And I didn't get that one. I couldn't seem to catch that one.
Okay, I got you. Well, you're documenting these things, and
oh yeah, it's documented.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. I guess I don't know if you saw the ship that April took today in the daylight.
Yes, I did.
That was as clear as a bell. That ship.
It sure was.
You know,
It was
and
very clear.
that's one of the weather ships that was from the Ashtar Command. They have a weather ship, a living ship, and another ship that does all the mission work.
I've got a feeling she's going to be taken up tonight if she wasn't taken up yet.
Oh yeah, I don't think she's going to be back on. I think she's going to be taken up.
I think she was taken up again tonight.
I think so too. I told April, I said, they're going to be taking you up a lot. They're getting you prepared to help us get prepared
Yeah.
to go on the ship. So we're, I'm already, just let people know who are new to the show. And, sometimes you have to repeat the story because not everybody here knows what's happening. But there's four of us here in the region: Kit Kat on Long Island, me in Connecticut, Johnny in New Jersey, and April in northern Vermont. So all four of us are triangulated in the same area, basically. And we're all going to be joining April very shortly at some point, going on one of the spaceships of the Ashtar Command physically. We're not going to meditate in a classroom or something, or pretend or go into a dream state and hope that we, remember the dream. This is going to be physically real, and we're going to physically go, and we're going to be taken off the planet in a very beautiful energy field that will take us onto the spaceship. So this is going to be quite amazing when it happens. And if you don't know this is happening, it will be happening soon, very soon, sooner than I can think of.
I
They'll
keep
say,
getting
go
I
ahead.
keep getting the date. I don't know if this is pertaining to this, but this started about 3 or 4 days ago. I got the date of April 15th or 19th. One of those 2 days.
Yeah, who knows?
I keep
I
getting
keep
that. I don't know what that it's just in my mind, and it's April 15th. April 15th. I said, well, what is this? I don't know.
a son of God says, "Have you seen the face by the moon?" Not really. I've
I've
looked at the
seen
moon.
pictures.
I think the moon looks very strange, but I mean, recently, in the last night or so. But yeah, no, I haven't seen
Yeah,
the face.
somebody got it in a telescope. I seen that picture, and the face is
Yeah,
actually bigger than the moon is.
yeah, it's pretty. I think maybe vaguely I've seen something like that. Someone says Mark Torres says tomorrow it's going to happen. What's happening tomorrow? Is there something happening I didn't know about? I have forgotten April. Yeah, so who knows what's going to happen? Every day is different, and we have things amping up now. So a lot of stuff's coming down the pike in terms of the logistics of contact. Um, and we'll find out shortly what that's going to be. I know. I just feel, the weird thing is, April 13th is our big event. It would be really funny if that day or that night we were all together at the apple orchard and they decided to take us all on the ship on the 13th. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but wouldn't it be kind of funny if that did happen?
It would be
Because we're all
funny.
going to be there. We're going to be there in the field. So, what better place to take us aboard the ship all together? I would
Well,
love
I
to see
texted.
Johnny, Kit Kat, and myself with April. We know April's coming. I'd like to see the other two people with us and see if they would take the four of us up. There's going to be other people there that will document it, and we just are taking on the ship. You know,
I
Lady
texted.
J has a question. Go ahead.
I texted April and I said, why don't you ask them to bring you there in the weather ship and then just come out in the apple orchard?
They could do that too.
That would be great. They want
Well,
to
if
show
they could,
something spectacular. That would
but
be spectacular.
then they have to give her a ride back up to Vermont in the
Well, yeah,
spaceship.
but they travel so fast.
They
I
do.
mean, she'd be up there in no time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Better be here than there in 2 feet of snow. They had a lot of snow up there, so you know. So you're watching Encounters. We got Cliff on here. Everybody else watching. Do you think government three-letter agencies are against Enlightenment, Commander? Oh, I think there's a big fight within the agencies between the younger generation and the older generation. The old generation wants everything to be hush hush. The younger generation wants everything to be open. So I think there's a big internal battle going on in all the different agencies, including the Air Force and other agencies out there. I think that's a
I
great
feel the
question.
same way.
Yeah, things are happening here.
I think the
Okay.
younger ones in government is saying it's time to let people know what's going on and stop covering everything up. This is what I'm getting.
Mark MacArthur, are you going to videotape the trip? Well, that we can't go and videotape in the ship because our technology won't work. Thank you, Yaya. But we will try to videotape at the C5. We're going to be live. If I'm visited and the space people come to my house and I try to videotape it, it'll be so spontaneous I won't have time to really think about that, I think. I'm just going to be going on the ship and I won't really have time to document anything. I'm just trying to read the comments here. I'm older generation X. Let's see here. I want everything uncovered. I agree with you. Government needs to stop lying. Yeah. So that's that girl Rachel. We're going to be going on Ashtar Command ship soon. I'm going to be conservative and say in the next 2 to 3 months. It could be a lot sooner than that, but I think in 2 to 3 months we will actually be going on a spaceship of the Ashtar Command. Oh, thank you. I just sent the video to you and Johnny. Give me 1 second. I'm going to let Cliff take over for a minute. I'm going to be right back. I'm running out of some juice here.
Oh boy. You hurt your leg on the desk? What happened? Zoom, you said you hurt your leg on the desk? Alicia from Florida, you realize when I was in Florida, I was an Uber driver? That's funny. I actually worked doing that. Hey Rod, how you doing?
And welcome back to Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. Cliff is our guest here tonight. I do think that April has been taken back up on the ship. I could be completely wrong,
That's
but
what I feel.
I'm really concurring that the dog thing was the first part of it, and then she's going back on this. Now she had 2 feet of snow up there, so I'm sure they'll take her on
3
the ship
feet.
without her.
She
2 or
said
3
there
feet.
was 3 feet. 3 feet.
3 feet
Yeah.
of snow. Well, if they're taking her on the ship, they'll have her protected in warm, beautiful light, and she'll go on the ship, and she won't be in the snow when it happens. But I bet you she will be taken on the ship tonight.
That's what I feel.
I really do read into that, and we can both be wrong. She could be just not on the ship and doing stuff, but I think she could. Oh, she's back. I think she's back. I think she's back from being on the ship. We're going to bring her back. So we're going to bring her back from the ship back on the program.
She is. I don't see her.
felt well, oh, she's here.
Okay.
You know what? I was being taken out of body there for a few minutes. That's why I had to walk away from the camera.
I was trying to take my dogs out, and my yard was loaded with fairies for some reason.
Oh wow!
They were all out.
There
was probably along the lines of about 200 of them in my yard.
They must be loving the snow.
I'm not sure what they're doing, but something's going on. So they are all out there, almost like they're standing guard for something. So.
Well, they could be. I felt like my energy levels. I was sitting here, and I felt like I was being taken out of body while I was still live here, and I had to go and throw water on my face. I feel better now, but I felt like I was being pulled out of body. Like it was really weird. Not in a bad way. I felt like with all those downloads from yesterday, I think I was just, whatever. But I feel more awake now. But
well, that's good. I felt like I felt like I was out there and I was taking the dogs and I kept feeling pulled. And so I walked to the front and I look and there's, big ones running across my yard like pew, real quick. And I could see them. And then there's a couple sitting on my daughter's car. And then I look over in the snow and there's just a bunch of them lined up. They were like lined up on either side of my driveway.
Wow.
I was trying to figure out what they're doing, what they're out there doing. And they're all like surrounding my driveway, like in a complete circle around my driveway, like all the way
Wow.
up my walk, like they're protecting.
Wow.
me. I don't know
I
what.
think
It sounds like
I
think
think
they
they're
are
going to
protecting you.
protect you for something.
Yeah, Mikey's a little flared up out there too, so I'm not sure what's happening.
Oh yeah, well, you know what? They're going to protect you, and also the Ashtar Command is going to protect you too. So whatever's out there or trying to get out there is going to be knocked out of the universe pretty quickly.
Lily's right up above my house right now, and Mikey's over on the mountain. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure what's happening, but either way, I'm not worried.
No, not to be worried. You're well protected.
I hope
You
it's
know?
not the MIB.
No, there's no MIBs. Don't worry
Okay.
about MIBs. The MIBs are garbage. They're not going to bother anybody. The MIBs, I kick their butts in 2 minutes.
No, these guys are out here. I don't know if they're celebrating something or if they're out here protecting, but I don't know.
They could be celebrating too. You know, we have no idea.
I know
They
we
could be
got that eclipse happening.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if that's they're gearing up for. I don't know.
Well, they might. The fairies might have little sunglasses, eclipse sunglasses that they get at Walmart, and they might be
Yeah,
using those
isn't that
mini
funny?
fairy glasses to look at the eclipse. They might get. That's what they're doing. They're getting ready for the
I
eclipse.
seen on the
I don't know,
news.
but they're not. They're active at night, but they're not like this active in my yard unless
Right.
something's happening. So
So yeah, it could
and
be.
they're banging on stuff. I'm watching my security camera right now as I'm talking to you, and
Yeah.
you can actually hear them banging on stuff out there.
Yeah. Thank you, Alicia. Alicia says you're a hoot commander. Well, you know what?
On the news, I seen on the news, you know, everybody keeps warning about this eclipse and not to go outside. Texas is actually declaring a state of emergency, and the reason why is because there's so many people going to be coming in from other states to witness this because they can't see from where they are. They're worried about the roads and everything else. So it's basically for the people that live in that area to be safe because there's going to be a lot of people in the area. So they're actually issuing a state of emergency. Texas is. But that's what this is all about.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, the eclipse is supposed to be pretty phenomenal, but you know, it's just we're living in very interesting.
I feel like I'm being pulled two ways about the eclipse.
Yeah.
You know, I'm being told that the eclipse is supposed to be a lot of bad energy coming from it, and that I should stay inside. And then the other curious side of me is saying, well, you know, I'm protected, so you know, should I go out and watch it?
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna be focusing on too much on the eclipse. I'm gonna let it happen. I'll be doing other things.
Yeah.
Just you know.
I'm kind of feeling the same way.
Yeah, I don't think I need to go out and look at it.
Mm-mm.
You know, it's not a requirement of my mission work on Earth is not to look at the eclipse.
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah.
No,
you know,
guys
so
have
there's
bigger fish to do.
We have a lot bigger fish to do.
Yeah.
You know, and we're doing it, and it's just everything is being facilitated in the right way. I think the Ashtar commanders on the ship are doing a phenomenal job facilitating this, and they'll know how to do this. I mean, they know how to bring us on the ship, so they'll know what to do with me and the other, and you know, Kit Kat and Johnny.
I sent all four of you that's going up the same basic text. Now, I have never even been on an airplane. I mean,
Really?
I want to keep. No, I've never been on a plane. The only time I was on a plane is when I was doing non-emergency transport. We had to bring a stretcher person onto the plane, and we just brought them on, put them in their seat, and then we were out of there. I was never off the ground. And I texted each one of y'all. I said, could you imagine if I'm glad I wasn't picked as one of the ones, because I'll tell you what, if I got taken up into a ship, I think I would poop my pants. It's way up higher than a plane would go.
Well, you won't even notice it because the way it
I
sounds
would be
like
scared. I would have to have someone hold my hand and say, "Come on, it's okay."
you'd be on the ship, and if you listen to how April's explained it, within a couple of seconds you're on the ship. You don't even
Yeah.
really. There's nothing that really. It's
You
not
don't
like being on
realize
going.
that you're being taken. It happens so quickly.
Yeah, it's very different.
Because I'm scared to death of going on a plane. There's too many things going wrong with planes lately.
And you're better off going on a ship. There's nothing going on there.
True. That's true. That's true. But
And then and you know what? You wouldn't have to worry about a plane because the seating is so tight. You have to sit next to the person that's 500 pounds.
you know
The other
you're right
person
there
next,
too. Yeah.
and the other
Commander?
person's slapping him. Yes.
Did you pin your gifts?
Oh no, I didn't do that. Wait a minute. Thank you for reminding me. Wait a minute. I do have a pinned gift. Wait a minute. I
You got
have
the
three
dog.
of. I got the hat. It's the cowboy hat. So
Okay.
I have 5 more cowboy hats. I'm pinning it, so I need 5 more cowboy hats to reach my goal tonight. I'm hoping to reach a few goals. So and also we want to get to 100,000. We're almost at 50,000. By 1 a.m. I want to have 100,000 likes on here. So if everybody does the thing and presses the button, see, honey, thank you. Tamara, thank you for the hat. I'm getting all kinds of hats here. And I love wearing hats, cowboy hats, whatever kind of hat you want to give me, you put on me here. Thank you for the cowboy hat,
I
Susan.
like the pink hat, Commander. It really suits
Do I
you.
look good? The pink hat suits me good?
Pink hat.
Does it really? You think I'm
Oh,
good in the
God.
pink?
Commander's man
I'm
enough to
feeling
wear
a little
pink.
I can wear the pink hat. I'm not shy. The commander wears a space outfit, and when I'm not here, so I can wear a pink, pink hat. I think Commander Robar, I should probably go on the ship with a cowboy hat on, and say, "Hey, Dad, what do you think of me now?"
You would have laughed. You guys would have laughed at me if you would have seen what I did in Florida.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody was at our house and they were sad, not feeling good, especially if they were
Yeah.
crying about something, well,
Yeah.
Papa Smurf here got his own version of Big Mama, and I had a multicolored shoulder-length wig, a big woman's floppy hat, and my wife's red plush bathrobe that you like, that you slip on, like
Yeah.
what April said she had, like a
Yeah.
bathrobe. And
Yeah.
and I would come out and I would go completely out of character. I said stuff that I would be embarrassed to say as myself. I I made a complete fool of myself, but it made them laugh. It made them laugh, and this is what I do.
Yeah. Alicia says we need pictures of Papa Smurf.
Go look on Papa Smurf's page. He has a picture of him that he turned himself blue.
Oh, I took that one out. I'll have to put it back in. I'll have to
So,
put that one back in.
We're getting there. We're at almost 50,000. We need 50,000 more likes here, folks. I do multitask, and I am watching on the show. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. We do have some levity here, and we do kid around a little bit sometimes. Lady J, thank you for the hat. Because let's face it, we've been, we're dealing with a lot of serious stuff here, and sometimes we need just to, as we get later into the show, to just tell a few jokes here sometimes in relation
that's
to
what I was doing, is trying to bring a little light to the. It's a
Yeah,
very
that's
important subject what you guys are doing, but you have to laugh
you
a little bit too.
you have to live with it, and I think you know how to bring the light because your beard is as bright and as light as it can get. There's Papa Smith.
Yes, it is.
If it radiates the light all the way from the bottom of your beard to the universe.
Well,
that's a little bit of light humor.
I will stay as Papa Smurf for everybody on here, but on my TikTok, I'm going to start calling myself the light worker, because I feel like I have messages to put on there for people to start opening their eyes. So I'm going to start.
That'll be good.
I'm going to start doing that.
You could be called the lighter side of Papa Smurf.
Yeah, yeah.
I just naturally have a sense of humor. I can't
Everybody
help
knows you're famous as Papa Smurf now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you are.
Well, maybe I should leave it then. I don't know.
Well,
I
you know
would
what?
leave it and send your messages anyway. Say,
And then
say I got a Papa Smurf has a light message for you today, and then do your
and
message.
and Papa Smurf, when the next new Star Wars comes out, it's going to be. Oh man, I just had it, and it was really funny. And now I'm thinking what it was.
He's going to be a blue Chewbacca.
Oh no. May the Smurf be with you.
There you go. There you go. And April is the Smurfette.
That's what I look like in that video. I look like Smurfette in that video.
But you know
We're
what?
getting
On your live today, April, I made a comment that you, besides the swelling going down, that you're starting to look younger. And someone else, I don't remember who it was, said, I've noticed the same thing. You better take a look at yourself because you look differently. You look
No,
at
he is
least 20
serious.
years younger.
You do look
You really
younger.
do.
Yeah. And seriously, speaking about the aging process between Earth people, I'm glad you brought that, and the people on the ship, they're hundreds of years old. My brothers and sisters, but they look like they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with the vibrational. It's a vibrational frequency that we don't have on Earth right now. They are in a certain pattern of vibrational frequency that affects their body differently than it affects the human body, and therefore our bodies are aging more, where their bodies, they're hundreds of years old and they look like they're 20 or maybe in their early 30s.
People that talk about when you go to heaven, everybody always says when they went there and came back, if they were brought back, it says that their family members all look like they were in their 30s.
Yeah.
And now,
thank you, Lisa.
And now this is the same thing with going into the ship. Everybody's younger, so I mean, there's like a connection there somehow.
Yeah, Alicia's right. The vibration is increasing the collagen naturally of the physical body. That sounds about right. Is their time the same as ours? No. Hey, Alien Doll, thank you for the swan. That's beautiful. Their time, they don't operate in time. For people that are wondering about this, they don't operate in time. We do, but they don't. They operate without any time, so to speak. So when April went on thank you, Lisa. Wow. Wow, I'm gonna have to set up another goal here, I think. I'm gonna set up another goal here. Wait a minute. I'm gonna answer the questions too. I'm setting up a new goal. Let's go here. Give me a moment. I think the new goal is going to be. I think it's going to be something different. Let me see what we got here. I don't want to go too crazy. I think I am feeling kind of like maybe a superpower. I'm just looking to see what they have here. Oh,
I know. I
tried
earlier when I was trying to set a goal. I was like, there's so many cute ones. There's so many interesting ones.
I just set a goal, and I'm confirming it. I just set the train. There's a thing called a train, so I put the train in there, and I'm looking to get 8 trains. I'm pinning in the train, so now we have 8 trains. I switched it from hats to trains. So if you see the train in there, please feel free to give me a train as a gift here to help support the programming of the show here. And you're tuned into Encounters. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, the man from Mars. I work with the Ashtar Command. I'm also on WESU-FM at 88.1 and also on the internet with Ashtar Command, Cosmic Eye Radio, NPR Pacific Radio Sunday mornings. I'm also a conduit for the Cosmic Christ. I also am a telepathic communicator as well, off planet. So we're glad to have everybody here. And we're here till 1 a.m. and we're at 55,000. We need to get to approximately 100,000 likes. That means 50,000 more people need to, 50,000 more people need to, or 50,000 taps need to happen. I don't know.
Keep tapping.
I can tap, but if I tap, it's cheating. If you tap, it's not cheating.
When I was tapping on April's show and I stopped. It said 835 taps, and that was just on that one time.
Yeah, yeah,
I said, my finger's getting numb here.
that's right. So it's been a kind of a slow night for interviews, but I get, when it's slow like this is just what we do. We appreciate everybody. The gifts you give to April will help her get down to Connecticut, and that'll be very helpful. If anybody is coming to Connecticut and you're staying for the night, we have the Fairfield Inn off Interstate 91. And we
Okay,
have
I was going to ask you about that, but I was going to private message you about it later because you're not putting me in the Bates Motel, Commander.
No, we're not. We're not doing that. That hotel was demolished, and now there's a Hilton there, where it used to be the Bates. It's a big, beautiful Hilton hotel. Matter of fact, before the Hilton Hotel was there was nothing. There was old trees. But
Really?
about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, they were building it, and then they stopped, and then the Hilton came in, and they bought the property, and they built a nice place. I've been in it, just
April.
to like go in there with.
Yes.
Rosa is asking, why can't April video to the beings outside?
Why can't I
Why can't
video them?
Why can't you
Rosa.
videotape the space people?
Yeah, Rosa is saying, why can't April video those beings outside?
The fairies?
Yeah, whatever the beings.
I do videotape my beings outside all the
She
time.
does. She does.
Look at my
She's
feed.
always,
There's hundreds of videos in there of my
yeah.
beings. I just posted one like 2 days ago
Yeah,
of
Rosa. That's,
baby fairies that were just born and being
yeah.
treated by other beings.
Yeah, Rosa, you'd be happy to check her page out. She has everything there. You're going to have a lot of fun watching her videos. She has photos, videos of the spaceships, the space beings, the fairies. It's all on her page. Yeah, Bigfoot. She's got all that on there. It's really cool.
My
I think you'll like
Bigfoot friend is called Pumpkin, and then his baby sister Rosebud. There's all different kinds of fairies in there. I have which is a rarity, is the male fairy that has wings. Most male fairies don't have wings, but I actually got one on there that's part of the fairy army, and he's actually got wings, and we're friends. And I got him doing a handstand off of my daughter's car.
Oh, good. You just became her friend. Good, Rosa. So if you're friends with fairies, you can see all the stuff that she does and documents. So yeah, good for you doing that. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch her. And we'll be posting the spaceship she had of today of the Ashtar Command. Broad daylight. The ship is as clear as can be. And we'll be posting it here. If we don't get to show it tonight, we'll show it tomorrow night on our show for people that want to see it. It's pretty amazing. And I want to say good evening to Morningstar and all the other people coming in here, Rosa, all the people in here that are coming in here.
Yeah, so
Lady J says, I used to see fairies when I was a little girl. Interesting.
yeah, I mean that's when we most of the time, because children are so innocent and they haven't been tainted by society as much and told that these things are not real, that they forget that, as children these things are real. They truly are real, and the veil is lifting and getting thinner, and more people, even adults, are starting to see these beings. I was actually just talking to somebody that's brand new at seeing these beings, and they started realizing they are all over their yard. And she got a little scared because she heard one of them grunt, so she thought they were bad. And I'm like, no, he's probably just making a noise acknowledging you that you were there. I said, they're not bad. They're actually good beings, and they're here helping. And they were actually working on one of her structures that she had.
Oh, wow.
I watched like 2 seconds of her video, and I'm like, yeah, you got elves in there trying to help you out and help you fix your building.
Wow. That's pretty amazing,
I have some that were
going
out here
on.
feeding my chickens for me. I didn't even have to feed them. Sometimes they had already been fed.
That's Lisa saying, I saw something weird after your call. It's on my post. My dog ripped up some paper. She's saying it looks, Lisa, you might want to explain what that was. Let's see here. Yeah, Lisa, we're going to definitely bring you up here, Lisa. I want to know what that is all about. Lisa says, I saw something weird after your call. So it's hard to decipher that. Hey, Lisa, how you doing?
Hey, good. I usually see things like ever since I was a child, I was able to see things within things. Like if it's a paper ripped up, or I'd see like a heart or something. Like I always look into things. But I was cleaning up my dog was had a paper plate yesterday. It's kind of weird, but he ripped up some paper and I know Kit Kat saw it. And she's like, "Oh, post it." And I'm like, I felt weird posting it because I know a lot of people on my TikTok that kind of would be like, "What is that? Like your dog ripped it up?"
Right.
And
That's right.
it looks like an alien.
Wow.
It has. Okay, so I was cleaning up after your call. It was late. It was and I was pushing all the stuff together, and it's like an alien holding this little tiny blue dog. It looks like a blue little dog alien with black eyes, and it's like weird. I mean, I can't describe it any other way, but I have never had any alien encounters like that. But
Well, you
after
know
your
what?
Are you a lover of pets?
Yes, I am. I'm a lover of pets. I help animals. I'm people are drawn to me, but it was weird. Like after your call, it was like clear as day that I was like, this is something that I have to take a video of. I mean,
Wow.
I see lights come in the window and they will form there'll be nothing in the room, and all of a sudden a light will come in and just start swirling and making hearts and making
Oh,
light contact.
that means they really like you. You do have fairies, and that means they
I have a
like you, and
fairy garden too, so it's like
they're sending you messages for sure.
I was just cleaning up my fairy garden this week too, and I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
and after before that happened, I was like, because I got off your call, and I'm like, universe, give me a sign, like please give me a sign today, like at this moment. And I'm cleaning up the paper, and if you see my post, it's just a whole bunch of paper, but it formed this creature. I mean,
Wow.
and it's holding this cute little animal in its hand. It has a long the person has a long neck and a head that shapes backwards, and the actual person it has wings, and it's folded up in the back, and it's really
It
strange, like
probably
how.
actually was a fairy that was melded into it because they
Yeah,
shapeshift quite a
yeah,
bit, and they
it
do
was.
have pets. They do have pets. There's miniature little tiny fairy dogs and cats
Yes,
and things like that.
it
So,
looks like a little
Wow.
cute dog. Like it's hold
yeah,
I wish I could share the picture with you right now, but it's holding this little cute little dog, like this blue little creature,
yeah.
and its hand is extended forward, and it's like the little eyes are just little black eyes, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And this is
Not everybody has the fairy sight, and the fact that you do, and there's so many radiating to you right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely cool. Start
It
It is
videotaping them.
cool.
it is so cool. It was just like, I mean, I've had lights and everything else and dreams, and I actually had a past life regression that
Oh, wow.
that as soon as I passed away, I went right up to the ship. I went flying
Wow.
as fast as I could. I was up in the ship. They gave me my mission, and I ended up going to a planet that was all like my sleeping quarters was interesting. It was like rose it was kind of like caveman type of thing. It wasn't like
Hmm.
it didn't, and I kept on thinking, this doesn't look comfy. This doesn't look like, when I got there, I'm like, but this is my home. It was all like concrete. It was kind of like just very, very simple. I said, this is like my place where I go for resting during my after my mission. I would rest in the caves, and then I would go back up to the ship and do things, but on other planets. And it was interesting. So I know that I have some connection to this, and I always been a little different. My mom believes, because my mom always sees things like this, but my rest of my family thinks I'm kind of crazy. So
Yeah, believe me, I understand. My daughter gets so tired of explaining to people why I'm in the woods that she tells
yes,
people I'm out there feeding the squirrels.
yeah,
And you know
my
what? You
Feeding
know
my
what? You know
squirrels.
what's interesting though? Since April's been going on the ship, this is interesting. Your family knows you're going on the ship. They're pretty used to it by now, aren't they, April?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, they are. For the most part, they don't even know. At this point, Commander, I don't even bother saying anything anymore. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
go do
Yeah.
yeah.
what I do, and then I come back, and it's usually when everybody's in bed, so I don't feel a need to come busting in the door and making this big announcement. Hey,
Hey,
I've been gone for a week. Did you guys miss me? I've been
did you
up
miss
in the
me?
clouds and in the ocean. Did you, because as it is, that they still sometimes struggle about my fairies. Can you imagine? You
Oh
Yeah.
know,
my gosh.
I mean, they believe me for the most part because they're
Yeah,
starting to see more and more stuff happening now. But
right.
but at the same time, I still, even with my own family, get the glazed over look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard when you're trying to trying to talk to people about it. My mom actually one she got taken somewhere for 2 hours, and like
Mm,
she was at this old house doing a tour, and she it was like a 1800s house, and her old farmhouse door, which they had lots of weird activity at their old farmhouse growing up, and they took parts of the old house and put it in this new house, or not new house, but an old house. And she went up to do, it was like kind of like a fundraiser, and they had like an ice cream social. And my mom said she went up there and she went to her door, and all of a sudden, like 2 hours, people were looking for her hysterically. My dad said, I was out there looking for you and looked in the house and we didn't see you, and you were gone for she's like, I was gone for 2 hours, but it only seemed like minutes. So
wow.
my
Yeah.
mom's side of the family, or her side, is connected to something. It's, and my grandma, even in my dream, said that she touched my daughter's forehead in my dream and
Wow.
said, I gave her a gift. I gave her a gift. And she was passed away at the time. So
Wow.
my daughter has a little bit of a gift, and so does my son. Like psychic, tell it, we talk to each other, tell it, like she'll say something and she'll be like, or I'll say something, or she'll say something, and she's like, I was just thinking that. I was just gonna tell you that, and I was gonna, like, we could have a conversation almost. But she's like, that's weird, mom.
You
And
know,
I'm like,
most
yep,
people,
Mm.
most humans have always had that gift. They've just forgotten that they have it.
yeah.
And after the big contact happens, we're going to be getting those gifts back.
It's so amazing. And it's like, it's really interesting because I'm like, look at, we can do this. And she's like, that's so strange. And I'm like trying to, they like the cartoons, all the stuff they show us, like all her cartoons are like, I can listen to her talk and she'll be like, I'm going through that portal. I'm going
Mm.
through this, I'm doing that. And it's like, she told me one day that she had a dream that in the future there'll be portals all around us.
Yep.
We'll be up like high enough. And she's like, we'll be able to go backwards and forwards, mom. She's
No,
like,
just
Well, actually, when you think about portals, galactic portals,
yeah,
we have a lot of these all over the planet now that people don't realize that these portals are where a lot of the spaceships come into Earth, and
yeah.
they come into the planet through galactic portals off our within our atmosphere and on the other realms of our planet.
It's so cool. But she was drawing this picture, and she's like, if you want to see like your grandma that passed, you can just go through the portal and see her, mom. It's like, she's like, they have, at this age, they are like, we have no worries. She's not worried about anything. She's very strong, independent, 15-year-old, and she's like, yeah, we can do whatever we want in the future. Like, I've seen it. They don't feel like school is I'm a substitute teacher for the school, and she's like,
Oh wow!
and she's but they're not interested in school. They want to learn what they want to learn, and it's like they're a new generation coming in of star seeds and star families, like
yeah.
where they're like, this is useless to me right now. I don't need school.
And
Like, this is,
that's what I was trying to say about like the schools off planet. When they go to these schools, it's not like book learning like how
yeah,
we do here on Earth. It's learning. They find something that they are interested in, and then that's what they learn to do. And then they'll do that for a little while. They'll learn how to do that, and they live like off on these off planet like dormitories type
yeah.
things. And then they'll go back home for a while, and then they'll go back to these these schools and either continue to learn more about that if that's what they're still interested
Right.
in, or they'll learn other
That's
things. And
I
it's what they
know.
want, though. It's the stuff they want to learn so they can contribute back the way, and it's done very lovingly, and with thought.
Exactly. That's
And
how.
Lexicon,
Oh,
there's
sorry.
no problem. Lexicon's asking, how do they get to class on time?
Because
Question.
they're saved by the bell.
The Saved by the Bell.
Oh my gosh.
Most.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry,
That was
Commander.
bad. That was bad.
But I think, again, when you're dealing with the space people and their kids, they don't have like the operational time frame that we here have on Earth. So when you're looking at so like if I was on the ship right now and we were away for off planet for a month, there's no concept of time. So there's their daughters, their sons and daughters on the ship. When they go to school together, there's not a time frame like we have on Earth. The perceptions of reality are slightly different.
Yeah, when classes are being held, they just go to their classes, They know what time that the classes are being held, that they don't hold time the same way we do. So,
Yeah.
it's like certain times of the day down there, or whenever they hold their classes, they just go, like at middays, like meditation time, or middays,
Yeah.
learning how to, just things like that. So, they know at the certain times of the day that if this is what they want to learn, this is what's being taught,
Right.
And
Right.
they attend if that's what they're interested in.
Yeah, Brooke, my daughter, and son went to a preschool that was a nature-based preschool, which they would learn what they wanted to learn, and they would figure out how to teach it. So if they were
Exactly.
interested,
It's like that.
yeah, they would go on nature walks and learn about butterflies, and then they would learn about the creation of, the butterfly, or how to take care of the butterfly. Like they would, and then they get thrown into these schools that are
Yeah.
prisons. It's so bad.
And they're forced to learn, this and that. And, it's stuff that the kids aren't interested in. It's not stuff that
No.
holds their attention. Like, just for instance, kids with dyslexia, for instance. Now, I have raised 18 kids, and I've got a few of them that have dyslexia. Now,
Yeah.
these kids may not be smart in, like, say, reading and writing, for instance. Stuff is a struggle for them. But then I find that these kids are so extremely intelligent in, like, electronics and art and other things that they are just, like, excel in. Like, they are so intelligent.
They're excited about it. They're excited and they have a passion, and they really tear them down in school. I wish I could say more than I could say, because it's just, they are just treated really poorly, and these teachers are just like it's almost like a jail sentence that they have to be sitting through, and you have to be quiet, you can't talk, and you can't do this, and it's like you can't, and
Right.
it's really sad.
And the thing is, when you talk about this and then look at the people with their children on the space in outer
Yeah.
space, there's no cans there. Everybody can do whatever they wish
So
to do, and everyone can.
Yeah,
experience it.
it's really sad. I feel sad that my kids have to go through that, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Soon they won't have to. Soon they won't
They won't
have
have
to.
to.
Hopefully soon, within the next couple of years. And if your kids are still in school, there's going to be so much change. The kids are going, when they go to school, wherever they go to school, it's gonna be something like how they do off planet. Like they'll do an announcement saying, "Hey, we're going on a nature walk up in Venus," or I'm just using
Yeah.
spitting this out, but you know what I mean. Like they'll announce that this class is being held now, and the kids that want to attend or are interested in that will go to that. Or hey, we're doing some meditation on floating today, and if you guys want, it's happening now, or and then the kids will show up. That's the way the classes are off planet.
Oh yeah.
And they're amazing. Like me and the commander off planet, we took a lot of different classes together, stuff that we were both interested in, but we also did our own interests as well.
Right.
And the same thing with Kit Kat and Johnny, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be
interests.
and this is where we learn stuff. Like, I had this like vision in my head just now, like when we galactically get integrated from an Earth-based teaching system of textbooks to a galactic way of understanding the universe, the textbooks we have now are primitive. Once we are interconnected with contact with our space being families, we will have the ability to, and came to me now, is that we will be learning differently. We will have full knowledge of the universe, of creation, of everything that exists in the multiverse, which we don't have now because on Earth, they teach all these limited things that don't assist people into waking up to who they truly are. It's just amazing how many things, I won't even go into it, in Earth-based teachings, going from being a kid in school, all the textbooks we read, all the history books, everything we read is based on limited construct of knowledge. When we get into becoming the galactic people that we are, the spiritual beings of light that we are from off planet, we have full understanding and knowledge of everything in the universe. It's pretty amazing.
And that's true, Commander. That is so true. And so I am so sorry that you feel like you can't teach something that these kids really are interested in, and really gets them excited, and that you spend all your days telling these kids they can't, because
I don't
growing
tell
up
them
that.
they can't. I get in trouble by the school.
But you know what I mean, though. It's like
Yeah, I
you have
know.
constantly having to shush them, and and go by the school's agenda, and it's not stuff that the kids are excited about doing.
No,
And these kids because you're with them every day, and
they
what gets them excited, and
they love me so much. They are like running down the hall saying, "I love you, Mrs. Rain. I love you." And the teachers are so mad because I just project this light to them that they're all like calling me and texting me. They get my daughters. They're like, "What's your mom's?" They like want to hang out with me. They're like, They're like, "Your mom is cool. She's into crystals, and she's just like, I want her to be my mom." And I tell them all types of stories, and they're just like, "This is crazy, Mrs. Rain. You're like the best." And I'm like, "I know, I know."
Well, you know what? You know it is, Lisa. It's because you're into the crystals. That's your origin of bringing in your cosmic reality
Yeah.
into your ability to teach. And wait a minute. I think there's a cat here. There's a cat here. I think I have to get Miss Kitty here. Hold on a minute.
You have to get the space kitty his clout.
Aw,
This kitty, I'm telling you,
I love my
this cat will have he's got the commander by the snout. I'm telling you, he tells the commander what to do, and the commander does it. And whenever this kitty wants to come on, the commander has to bring him up, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm done with you," and then the cat takes off, and
It's
then
Commander
the commander has to
Cat.
give him his night snacks. Look at him,
A baby.
Aw.
A baby.
so cute.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
I'm the boss here.
Look at Brooke.
He
Hello,
is
everybody.
too.
I'm Commander Missy.
Hi,
love you.
Oh,
I'm
I love
Commander
That
Missy.
is so cute.
I'm just
Yeah.
hanging out.
The funniest thing is
You
when
know,
I was
look,
when I was still
I want to
working.
tell you something, everybody. You haven't hit Commander with 100,000 likes yet. It's 67.6.
Uh-oh.
If you like
Aw.
me,
We'll
I'm the
tap for the
commander.
kitty.
Tap for the kitty. Get me to
Tap for the
100,000
kitty.
right now,
Tap
everybody. 191 human beings, tap. 192. Come on now, tap. You're not tapping.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Nothing's tapping. Nobody's tapping.
I'm
I don't see
tapping.
you
I'm
tapping.
tapping.
Are you tapping? Everybody's tapping.
I am tapping.
Oh, look, you
We're
want.
tapping away.
My finger. My
You've
finger's
been wanting
getting
to see me
numb.
all night, and I need you to tap. I'll stay up here if you
No,
tap.
when I was still working in Florida, I drove non-emergency medical transport, and some of the people I transported was autistic and mentally challenged. I pick them up from group homes over in Wauchula, Florida, and I took them to Avon Park because Avon Park had a place that was called the ARC, ARC, and they brought them there and they taught them how to do things like working on a computer. They actually used to make the misting hoses that the orange groves use. Where they have they have the long plastic thick pipe, and then they put these little skinny ones in it with a misting nozzle. They used to assemble those misting nozzles. But these
Yeah.
people, the one person I transported, I think her name was Angela. We got there one morning, and she ran over to her counselor, and she brought her over and she said, "This is Cliff, and he's my bus driver, and he's the best one out of everybody because he makes us all laugh even when we're sad."
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's what you have to do to these. When I come in, I'm like just a beam of light for these kids, and they're like,
Oh, good.
they hug me, and the teachers
Yeah,
are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, they're like, I'm like high fiving them, hug whatever they're comfortable with, and they're just like,
exactly.
when are you coming back to sub Mrs. Rain? We love you. And I've been really tired lately. So I dream, and I dream some weird, I go into like astral projection, and I go into different
Yeah.
towns. I help other people in different towns. Last night I had a dream I was on a ship, and it was like thunderstorming, and it was just like all this energy was coming into the ship, and everybody was like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "It's okay, it's okay." But
Yeah.
I've flown in my dreams to different places, and one time I went to a different place, and I was flying with this guy, and I landed on this island in this voice projects out. I'm like looking for crystals in the water because it was glowing and beautiful and just projecting light. And they're like, "Lisa, we sell those in the store here." And I'm like, "You're funny, haha." It was like a joke to them. They're like, "You don't need to take our crystals. Our crystals are just fine right here in the water, Lisa." Because I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But
See.
I have towns that I go to every night, and it's like I know these towns, I know these places, I know the
It
people.
sounds like you're astral projecting.
Yeah, I am,
Yeah.
and
It could be. Yeah.
it's so cool. I love it. I sleep a lot, so
Oh,
I
well, you can deal astral. If you're sleeping a lot, you're probably going out of body. I call that. Sometimes when people sleep, they have what they call a cosmic reality. So
yeah,
I've talked about this a lot of times on my show, where people actually really do have experiences. And a dream state is the reality of, if it's like a really focused dream where they're on a ship and they meet space people, they're really having that experience. And then
yeah,
there's the other realm, which is where what April's going through started having happen, where she physically goes on the ship without the dream, and she's physically there. It's all physical. It's all documented that way. So,
yeah,
it's and that and the so a dream, a cosmic dream, is a reality state beyond this particular realm, but it's still real. Sometimes that's the meeting ground for, in your sleeping state, to go on the ship.
yeah. I always dream, ever since I was little, so I know everything is like real. I know and people are like, "Oh, you're just dreaming, or you're just dreaming," and I'm like, "No, no, listen to me." They don't. A lot of people, that's why I'm so happy that I was crying when you were like, you guys just touched my heart so much.
Oh, wow!
And I was,
Thank you.
but sometimes I'm just like overwhelmed by talking to you
Hmm.
guys. So it's just like I'm not overwhelmed bad, but overwhelmed just
Yeah,
happiness.
in a good way,
Yeah.
happiness. Yeah.
You know
Well, because
why,
you're,
Lisa? It's because you found your people.
Yeah, I've
yeah,
always been looking for my people.
Well,
It's
you found them. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
yeah.
guys for having me on. My daughter's like yelling at me. She's like, "I gotta go to sleep. I gotta go to junior high in the morning." And I'm like, I'm talking to I just woke up from a 6 hour nap, and my husband's like, "Oh my gosh, you're not gonna be able to sleep tonight." And I'm like, "Well, I got my daughter, she doesn't want to go to bed because she sees things like in the middle of the night
Oh, really?
sometimes."
Okay.
And so she gets kind of scared, like she's 15 or 13 almost, and she's like, "I don't want to go to sleep by myself because I see things." And I'm like, "I know."
Wow.
So she doesn't want to talk about it, but she's just like, "Put me to bed." So she's always crawling up into my bed because I sleep alone because I snore, my husband said. So I like sleeping by myself because I feel like a teenager myself. I feel like I'm getting younger too. That's interesting. Like I'm 50, and I feel like everybody's like, "You don't look 50, Mrs. Rain. You look like you're like 30." And I'm like, "No, I'm 50." And they're like, I feel like my mom said I'm kid-like. And she's like, "You're just like kid-like mom." She's like, "You're not like the other moms. You're like a big kid in an adult body." And I'm like, "I know." So I gotta put her to bed. But thank you guys for having me on. I'm sorry I can't
Oh,
finish the
yeah.
show. She's like, "Put me to bed." She has to get up at 6:30. So, and it's 1 to 13 our time. So, But thank you guys for having me on. Thank you
You
so
have
much.
a wonderful night and get some
You
rest.
too.
Really,
Take
Lisa.
care.
Yes, good night,
You too.
Lisa.
Good night, everyone. Love you guys. Take care.
All right, take care, Lisa. Thanks for
Bye.
Fun Encounters. And that was Lisa sharing some of her wisdom. And we do, like you said, this is Encounters. If you're new to the show, we're on usually at 11 p.m. Eastern, and we're going till obviously more than 1 o'clock in the morning. We need to get to 100,000 likes. We're at 81.3. We have 196 human beings around the world here. If everyone can tap, if you don't know what to do, you tap your screen, and you'll give me likes. So you have to tap it with.
I just
So
did 835.
I'm going to give people a lesson on how to do this. If you're not used to doing this on TikTok, you say, how are people tapping? You have to tap on your phone, and you keep tapping until I reach 100,000. So I'm going to hypnotize everybody right now. 195 people. Everybody tap. So if everyone taps right now, we'll be done in like a nanosecond. Maybe not a nanosecond. But we're at 83,000, so we can do it.
All right, Commander, I'm going to hop down. I got an early day tomorrow with a doctor's appointment, so I am going to hop down so I can get my granddaughter to her appointment tomorrow morning.
Good.
And I love
Good,
all
good.
of you. You guys have a fantastic night, and you guys be good.
And get me that picture of the
Okay,
ship, and
April.
I'll show
I will.
I'll show people.
Be
I'm going to
safe
show them tomorrow
driving
night.
in that snowy road, please.
I will.
Yeah.
Bye,
All
guys.
right. Take care, April.
Good night.
Okay, that was April, and she's our ship lady. She's been going on the ship 8 times, Cliff.
I
8 times
know.
already. And I believe before the weekend she'll have number 9 going.
I feel the same way.
Absolutely. So, folks, we're almost at 100,000. I would like to be able, as your host, to go to sleep, but I can't do it because we're not 100,000 yet. So, for me to go to sleep on planet Earth I need 100,000. And I'm at 87.5. We can do it. I'm going to set another goal here. I actually did set the goal. No one's taking me up on it. Wait a minute, where's the goal here? It's a train. There's 8 of them. I'm going to pin the train here. The train is 899 TikToks. So if you have 899 TikToks to spare, I can get a train. I can take the train instead of a plane and not go to Spain and maybe get to space, which is where I want to be in place of where I am. No, I'm just kidding. But if I can get the train, anyone want to do a train? $8.99. Trains are $8.99. Just so you know, I feel like I'm an auctioneer.
Oh, there it is.
Like $8.99, $8.99, $8.99. Thank you. We got one $8.99. We got 7 more $8.99s to go on the train. So if you don't give me a plane, give me a train, and I'll get to Spain without any pain. Thank you. But see, I can rhyme a lot. So we're at 91.1. Thank you, everybody, for really being here. All kidding aside, we appreciate everybody. Thank you, Rod, for the hanging light. Thank you so much. Hey, Rod, we'll have to have you on tomorrow night because the commander is definitely winding down here.
92.2.
They're not going to take TikTok away. They won't be voting on the thing till tomorrow. Everybody, make sure you call your Congress people early in the morning if you forgot to do it. They're not taking anything away. Don't worry about the TikTok being taken away. We're still going to have it. Millions of people contacted their Congress people, and those people vote. So these people, if they want to get reelected, they better get their brains going. Tomorrow they're going to be voting on it, on the general vote, but I would encourage everybody to contact their representatives. They haven't taken anything away. They're going to do a vote tomorrow, and I called my U.S. Congressman representatives, and thank you for the hanging heart, and they're not going to take anything away. We're not going to let them. Not going to let them. Not going to happen. Until they vote for it, and even if they vote for it, it's going to be something, what's really funny, not to get too off topic, the President of the United States just opened a TikTok account. Doesn't matter who the president is, happens to be the current president, had just got himself a TikTok account, and he says he would sign a bill to ban TikTok, which he already got an application for himself to be on TikTok. Talk about hypocritical, earth-based human beings that are in power on Earth. You know, yeah, I personally, this whole thing with China having TikTok, I don't care about that. I think China treats TikTok pretty good. Who do I care? I'm from Mars. I don't care about that garbage.
Rosa
Commander,
is saying I just looked at some of the videos of April and it doesn't look very convincing. What she doesn't know is the high power there is making the pictures distorted.
right. Yeah,
She should
Rosa.
look. She should take a look at the one of the fairy on the shower curtain, because as she pans over to the left, uh, away from it, the picture is really clear, and then when she pans back towards this one fairy, it gets all pixelated again. It's all because of the
Right,
power that they put out.
right. It's and also the spaceships radiate a different kind of energy, which affects cameras. It's always done that. So when you're trying to videotape a spaceship, like an Ashtar Command ship, you're going to have the vibrational patterns of the energy affect the camera. It always does. So if you're not too familiar how videotaping spaceships are, when you have it like in her situation, they're going to be somewhat, I mean, they're as good as she can get them, but the vibrational patterns affect the camera. So if you, Rosa, were standing outside in a rural area somewhere and videotaping a spaceship, your camera might be affected, would actually probably will be affected, and it would distort the vibrational picture pattern of that specific ship. That's what happens. Hey, we got to 100,000 K. I want to
We
thank
did.
Rosa for being here. Yeah, we did 100,000.
I
Rosa,
just
thank you
stopped
for
and
your.
I did another 173, and I'm still
There
going.
you go. Hey, I want to thank everybody for your gifting tonight. We appreciate it. We'll be on tomorrow night at 11 with another edition of Encounters. We're going to let people do last minute gifting. So if we have 196 people, those that have TikTok coins or want to do my Venmo, I have a Cash App on Venmo on my main account here, or you can do gifting. So we'll take a rush of any last minute gifts, like a barrage, a plethora of different gifts here on my screen. We'll see who pops up to do it. We got roses coming in, TK with roses. Let's see if we can do something else. We got some roses coming in here. Roses seems to be the winner. They're still racing on the track. It seems like roses is the last thing that we got. I guess Roses is going to, I think she's going to win. TK is going to win. I think she's going to be the winner. So I want to thank everybody for being here. And again, really, thank you for all the gifts. We appreciate it. Oh, Ruby's jumping in there with a hand heart. Oh, boy. Now we're starting to see people come in there. Now, the big players, let's see what the big players do. The big players can do all kinds of stuff. Nope. Well, kidding aside, I think it's time for me to go to sleep. This has been Encounters, a late night UFO show. This will be on my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. Hey, Cliff, thanks for being there. We'll see you soon. And we'll let Cliff down. Let's see if I can do this here. Yes, I can. Ruby's giving me another hand heart. Let's see here. Knocking him down. Let's see what's going on here. Yep, there we go. Okay, folks, this is the Commander. And my lighting stayed good, so that was good tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for the likes. Everybody, we love you all. We'll see you tomorrow night. Ruby, thank you for the fire. We're going to get some shut-eye. I hope everybody else sleeps well wherever you are. Take care. Good night.